Hello, welcome. I know this is completely impromptu, but I felt like why not? Yay, a live stream couldn't have been at a better time. Oh yay, I'm glad. Little bit different. I know my live streams are usually my monthly favorites, which I will do, of course, later this week, I think. But I need company while I work. That's exactly where I'm at, so I feel you. The chat room is being weird. Hello everybody, piece is looking great. It's giving queen. Thank you. Yes, so originally I had wanted this painting to be a whole YouTube video, and that just didn't happen because I was cutting it close. I mean, I'm extremely close to the deadline to get this done. Because, yeah, this is the mermaid illustration for my Patreon page. My Patreon, every month I do a print and a sticker. And normally I like to have it done much earlier in the month so that everyone can get a preview of it. But of course, life got really busy. So anyway, no full YouTube video of this, but at least I can work on it a little bit with you guys. Hello from Germany. I really love that your art style has all body sizes and shapes. I really appreciate it. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad. Yay, I'm so excited to get this one in the mail. It's so pretty. Thank you so much. Yay. Yeah, I'm all about, I'm a big proprietor. Wait, proprietor, is that the right word? I'm what am I trying to say? I'm pro body positivity. There we go. But yeah, so this piece, it's a little bit different for me in terms of Patreon rewards, because normally with the Patreon rewards, they're like portraits or like close-ups of characters. Part of it because they're quite small, like my Patreon rewards are 4 by 6 inches, like postcard size. So I would go for portraits and stuff because I feel like it would read more when it's small. Plus, I always felt like portraits would be faster. But at the same time, I'm kind of like wanting to mix it up. And I feel like I don't do full body figures that often anymore. So yeah, I decided to finally tackle more full body stuff. And unfortunately, it is true that it does take longer, which is why, like, part of the reason why I'm so late on getting this done. I'm not sure how it's going to scale. Like, I am a little bit worried about what it's going to look like when it's scaled all the way down to a 4 by 6 inch postcard. Since the size I'm working on right now is, the paper is 9 by 12 inches, so it's a pretty big difference. And there's a lot of like really small details, but I'm hoping that like the colors and when I get the line art in, it'll work, hopefully. So we'll see. The gradients here are insanely satisfying. Thank you so much. You inspire me. Aw, thank you. I'm glad. That makes me happy. Yeah, the gradients were pretty challenging. This is acrylic gouache. But yeah, I showed this to my patrons. This is the digital version that I did. So the colors are similar, not quite exactly the same. Ironically, my version, or my version, they're both mine. But my acrylic gouache version is actually like way more vibrant than my digital version. So yeah, but having this like digital pre-planned version first helps a lot. Also, I apologize in advance if I'm going to be like a little sniffly. I got a cold earlier this week, which was also what delayed my progress on this illustration because I got sick. I was pretty much like just dead on Monday. I couldn't do anything. But I'm like on the mends now, so. Also, how satisfying is it looking at this palette? So I love looking at paint palettes. It's so fun. Was it easier doing the acrylic gouache to achieve the gradients for the medium choice? Yes, I think so, because like gradients, like if you're just doing one, like what am I trying to say? I find that when it's two color gradients, watercolors is usually like pretty straightforward, but because of the way that I chose to do this, where there's like several different colors to gradiate, so like yellow, pink, or like a cream to yellow to like blue to purple, there was like too many colors that I think with watercolors it would have gotten really muddy. Like the colors would layer poorly with each other. Whereas with acrylic gouache, you can keep layering things without really losing the vibrancy of the color because it's more opaque. Does that make sense? That was my kind of reasoning. Plus, actually, another part was, oh, this is more blue than I wanted. The other reason was I had actually attempted something like this before with watercolors, like this type of color palette. And yeah, having like the blue shadows and stuff, once I like layered too many colors on top of it, I lost the vibrancy of it. So I kind of like knew from experience that this was going to be the better option. But yeah, I feel like I've been on an acrylic gouache kick lately. But yeah, the previous painting that I worked on with this kind of color palette, I ended up being able to fix it with acrylic gouache. So that was the mindset behind it. But I'm sure, I feel like I've seen other people do really vibrant color palettes like this with watercolors, but I think the trick with that is when you're more decisive. I feel like I'm too indecisive. I'm constantly like going back and forth and going over top of things way too often. So that's why acrylic gouache, I think, makes the most sense, because I'm like, if I make a mistake with a color, I can just like go over it again. Whereas with watercolors, it's much more difficult to do that. So yeah, I'm slowly realizing that I think acrylic gouache might be the medium that makes the most sense for me in terms of the way that I work. Hi, Tina. How are you doing today? I'm doing good, thank you. I hope you are doing well also. I have this like coffee drink on me here, and I have a glass of water as well. And yeah, I've been feeling, I felt chatty this morning, hence why I'm live streaming with you guys. Plus, I felt bad that I only had one YouTube video this month. So I figured I would throw in a really quick live stream. Originally, I thought I was gonna turn this the process of this illustration into a video, and then I was like, I'm running out of time. Maybe I'll just do a live stream, and then I was still running out of time. So I figured, okay, like let's work on the bulk of it without the live stream element, and that way it's mostly done. Hi, Tina. It's been so long since I've been able to catch a stream. How are you doing today? Aw, well, I'm glad that you were able to catch one today. Today's live stream is like completely spontaneous. I like literally didn't plan to do one till this morning. But yeah, I'm doing well. I'm glad to be getting over my cold that I had, because that's never fun. Thankfully, it was just a cold, so I am thankful for that. At least. I hope that you're doing well. I do plan to do another live stream for my monthly favorites as well. Probably, it might actually be Friday this week, so there'll be 2 live streams this week. Hello, everyone. The colors are so pretty. Thank you. Having a cold and warm weather is frustrating. Yes, it definitely is. And I'm actually like sweating right now because it is summer today. Like summer weather, I should say. Summer temperatures here in Toronto. But yes, it is true. Because you're like, typically when you have a cold, you want to like curl up in a blanket and drink hot drinks and stuff. But when it's summer, it is frustrating. Oh my god, this is gorgeous. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I am quite pleased with the color palette and the gradients, because I was very nervous about achieving the gradients when I had made the digital version. I actually debated on whether or not I was just going to keep it digital. After I did the digital version on my iPad, I was like, maybe should I just like clean this up and leave and call it a day? Because it just seemed so intimidating to do with gouache, but I was feeling determined, and you know, I am primarily a traditional artist, so yeah, I'm glad I stepped up to the challenge. I'm not a fan of pink, but you always make me like it. It's so nice with blue and purple. Thank you. I'm a big fan of pink, if it wasn't obvious. But yeah, I do find that this is a really common color palette for me. It's like my comfort zone, I think, in terms of colors, like the pink, purple, blue. They just, I don't know, I think they naturally, I mean, they sit together on the color wheel, so that's part of it. But yeah, there's just something very harmonious about it. The tail, I definitely want to redo. There's something about it that's just not working for me. But for the most part, we're close to where I need most of it to be. I think the seashell bra needs some rendering as well, and then the hair, I feel like maybe it can go in a little bit more. I loved your Japan vlog. It inspired me to want to visit there in a couple years. Oh, yay, I'm so glad. I I loved like compiling the Japan vlog together and like going through all those memories again. And I had hoped, you know, I was like, oh, this can be, yeah, like a good, hopefully like a good taste test for people who have never been before, and get a sense of like things to do. Unfortunately, the video doesn't seem to be very popular on my channel, but I'm really glad that people are enjoying, the people who have watched it are enjoying it. And I'm still committed to doing a part 2 and the Japan haul and all that stuff. So, and that's the importance of making videos that you want to make, because then that way, if they don't perform well, at least you had fun making the video. Did you see the new mermaid movie yet? I haven't. I know that a lot of people were extremely excited about it. I'm hearing that the people who were excited about it really enjoyed it, so I'm very happy for them. I'm sure many of you are like sick of hearing me say this, but I'm like not the biggest Disney live action remake fan necessarily, so I haven't really been keeping up with those. So I'm not sure if I definitely have no plans to see it in theaters, but I'm maybe like one rainy day when it's like on streaming services, maybe I'll consider watching it. But I'm really like womp womp on Disney live action remakes. I just like have such a like hardcore love and bias towards the original live action, no, sorry, the original animated ones that yeah, I don't know, I'm just like but I'm very happy for everyone involved and everyone who is really excited about it. Like I'm happy for them that they get to have this moment and be excited about this movie. So we see acrylic gouache listed in video description. What do you prefer about acrylic gouache versus traditional? Re-wetting / intermixing, color shift during drying. Yeah, there's a number of different things about acrylic gouache versus acrylic gouache. Definitely, I do a lot of like thin glazing on top of like previous existing layers, and I find that with regular gouache it lifts a lot easier, so it's more challenging to do like thin watery layers. And the color shift, actually, that is something that I often forget to keep in mind or like realize until later, but that is true. Like the acrylic gouache, I find there's like very minimal color shift from wet to dry, whereas regular gouache, I find there's like a much larger difference. And yeah, so that can be really challenging, getting your colors the way that you want them to when you have to wait for it to dry. And yeah, but I will say I definitely appreciate that regular gouache can be reactivated on the palette, because I hate wasting paints. But now that I have this palette, which is this is by Wet Grass, the brand. I have it listed in the description, but I think they're typically just called like a Stay Wet palette, or that's another brand, I'm not sure. But basically it's like a sponge, and then there's like a palette paper on top, and then there's like a lid for it. So these are all acrylic gouache paints, but they actually stay wet for like a really long time. So I've basically like solved my my main issue that I had with acrylic gouache, which was it drying too fast in the palette. So now I get to have best of both worlds. And yeah, it's pretty great. I'm a big fan. Anything fandom related you've been dying to talk about? Is there anything specific? I'm not sure, actually. What have I been? I've been really enjoying the new season of Demon Slayer. That's for sure. That's been pretty exciting. Okay, I think maybe I will go with the tail. So I think the thing that happened, what I was trying to do is I'd painted the background, the dark background, and then I was trying to do like thin washes over top to try to make it look transparent. But then I lost some of the darkness kind of going in. So I think what I'll do is just add the darker blues to give it more dimension. I think that's what it's mainly missing. And then we'll get some sparkles in there. Also, I'm always happy to talk about K-pop. That's like a big part of my fandom chats these days. I'm waiting for it to drop on streaming too. Yeah. I only watch Aladdin's remake because it's my fave Disney movie. It was fun, but it's not the same. Yes, I agree. I never watched the Aladdin remake. I will not. My siblings wanted to watch it, so I... after their horror at the Lion King remake, though, I swore off them. I used to use wax paper as my acrylic palette, and I'd always fold it at the end to make palette butterflies. Ooh, that sounds fun, palette butterflies. Yeah, it's always fun to, like, experiment with the leftover paint. Yeah, I definitely skipped the live-action remake for Lion King. Lion King is, like, a really, really big favorite of mine, and considering that, like, it's not, at that point, it's not live action anymore, right? Because it's all animals. So at that point, I'm like, what? Whereas I find with at least the live actions that include humans, it's like, okay, this is like a real actor, you know, and it's them acting. So the live action Lion King is like, live action is like a pretty loose term at that point. And, like, I'm a big fan of Childish Gambino and Beyonce, but I was like, that's still not going to entice me to watch this. I did see Aladdin, though, I will admit. Aladdin is also one of my favorites. And it was, yeah, like, it was fine. But it doesn't, you know, nothing's ever going to capture the same magic that the original animated ones do. But again, like, I'm not judging or like knocking anyone who wants to watch the live action ones, remakes, and if they enjoy them, then that's great. It's just not my cup of tea. Oh yeah, basically, yeah, like this like scrubbing that I'm doing right now, this is something that like I can only get away with, I think, with acrylic gouache, because like the layers underneath are like totally permanent and dry. Whereas if I were to do this technique that I'm doing right now with regular gouache, like all the layers underneath would start to lift. So acrylic gouache lets me be more rough. My comment was in response to you mentioning you wanted to do something more with tail. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it out of nowhere. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, no problem. More. Oh, yes. Yeah, they're definitely going to be, they're like, the edges of the tail are like super fuzzy right now, but I'm going to, because I'm going to paint the background a second time, and then that will make it a little bit sharper. I think for me right now, I was just sort of like trying to get more dimension within the tail itself. But yes, I do agree with you that when the actual tail is sharper on the edges, it'll definitely help kind of bring it all together. But yes, the tail inspiration for this is like, what are they called? The Chinese fighting fish. What are they called again? I knew because I Googled it. And my friend used to have them. But yeah, that was the inspo for the tail. I wanted it to feel really like flowy, a little bit translucent. Beta fish. Yes, thank you. Hey, Tina just popped in. This is gorgeous. Thank you. This color palette. Thanks, guys. If the live action changes the story a bit, it makes it better since it's not an exact replica of the story that is better told. Animated, the Cinderella live action did a good job at this. Yes, I do agree. Yeah, I do agree. Because then you're adding something new to the story, and then it makes it more, like, gives the story more reason to be retold. I do agree that I did see the Cinderella one, and I remember thinking like, okay, this is fine. Same with like Maleficent. I think Maleficent was like something where I felt as though, okay, like this makes sense to be told because this is like a totally new story at this point, basically. And Angelina Jolie is a queen, so. Yeah, I think honestly, like a big part of it is like the singing animated animals. I think that's where it becomes weird because there's that uncanny valley effect happening where the animals are so like realistic looking, but they're supposed to emote and they're singing. It's sort of strange to me. Whereas when it's fully animated, like in a 2D style, you can suspend your disbelief a lot easier because you're like, oh, it's supposed to be fantastical. I don't know. That's my, yeah, anyway. Oh, yes, I agree. A beta fish. One of my fave things about your style of content creation is that you explain your thoughts behind the artistic decisions you make. Thanks for sharing. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I do want to do more of that. I think, yeah, I've like, I compiled actually like a bunch of images that I use as inspiration for this piece, and I'm going to post like a big master post on my Patreon page because I think that is actually something that a lot of people struggle with, and I get asked about a lot, is like how to use reference photos or where do you get inspiration from, and it's always challenging to answer that question like overall, but I think if I come at it from like per piece, it might make more sense because it's always going to be a little bit different per illustration. But yeah, when I was working on the shell, like the clam that she's sitting inside, I actually originally was looking at images of Polly Pockets. I like Googled, what did I Google? I Googled like seashell Polly Pocket or something to try and figure out like the shape and the angle. But then eventually I think I just looked up clamshell or seashell or something, and that ended up making more sense. But yeah, getting these gradients with acrylic gouache is actually, I figured, there's a lot of scrubbing. Wow, this is beautiful. I've never caught one of your lives before. So happy I caught this one. Oh, yay. I'm glad you were able to catch this. Yeah, this is definitely a much more finished illustration live stream than my usual ones. Usually, I mean, I have done painting live streams before, but most of the time I'm just like doing more casual sketchbook stuff since it's a little less pressure. But I figured since this painting was pretty close to being done anyways, it wouldn't be too bad. But I always forget how challenging it is to paint and keep up with the chat. Don't get me wrong though, I'm having a good time. I'm glad to be able to chat with you guys. It's nice to feel like I have a coworker basically, or coworkers, plural, because I obviously work alone. And yeah, so when I do these live streams, it feels like we are coworkers, or, you know, having an art date. It's nice. Artists are often biased towards classic animated films. There aren't many industries where artistic drawing / illustration has been so important. That is a really good point. I think that is a huge, huge factor, definitely. Especially as someone who has like a very illustrative art style. It is true that animation really resonates with me. And I think that's why I'm such a big fan of anime, because it's like just so aesthetically pleasing, and animation in general, of course, but yeah, it's very true. I lost some of the pink again, so bring that back. Going back to Demon Slayer, did you read the manga? I haven't, but I'm really tempted, so I know what happens and don't have to wait. I totally understand where you're coming from. I've definitely done that before, where I've caught up with an anime and I'm like, I need to know what happens next, and then I start reading the manga. I did that for Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not like caught up with Jujutsu Kaisen anymore, but I am further in the manga than the anime is. And I actually did not do that for Demon Slayer though. So I'm only I only know up until episode maybe like 6 or something of the new season. I'm not even like technically caught up in the new season, I don't think. But yeah, oh, I should have did the pink first actually. Now I'm this is why I don't do tutorials. There's so much back and forth and it doesn't make sense. But yeah, the Demon Slayer season, oh, so exciting. I love that the way that they're structuring it, like they're going, like each arc is like focused on a different Hashira. I think that's very cool and smart, because then we're able to like focus in on certain characters at a time, as opposed to like trying to juggle a million of them at once. Tina, hey Tina, tabled my first con and flopped hard. Any advice for balancing art I want to make with art people want to buy? I love your art and you inspired me to take art more seriously. Thank you. Aw, I'm so sorry that your first convention didn't go well. That's really disheartening. But I do hope that that hasn't discouraged you from pursuing art or doing conventions again. Let's think. Yeah, balancing art that you want to make and art that people want to buy. I think that for me, I guess maybe like evaluate like the things that did sell at your recent experience, and you know, factor in or take a look at like why you think that people would have like preferred that stuff over the stuff that didn't sell. Because I definitely don't want anyone to think that they have to cater to what they think is going to sell, because sometimes that might not even be the right answer. You know, like you think that something is going to do well and then it doesn't, and then that's like even more disheartening because you only did that piece of artwork for the sake of it being thinking that it's going to be popular. So for me, I'm someone who actually does enjoy doing fan art, if that's like kind of the conversation that I'm presuming that we're having, is like, you know, maybe your original stuff didn't do as well and fan art does better. I think that's like oftentimes what a lot of artists kind of run into. Personally, I have a mix when I do conventions. I have part fan art, part original content, and I only do fan art that I personally have any level of investment in. So like, for example, I've had so many people ask about Genshin Impact, and I recognize that it's like a really popular franchise, like the game, and it is highly possible that if I were to make prints or merchandise based off of something from Genshin Impact, that it would potentially do well. But I've never played the game before, so I have like no investment in it. So I likely won't do any fan art for that, even though I assume that it's probably popular. But then there is like that small chance that my version of Genshin Impact work might not be popular. It's very possible that would be the case. And then how disappointing is that? So yeah, so it is hard to strike that balance, but definitely make sure that anything that you make is something that you're still interested in doing. There's something about this one that seems like the old tattoo style, Sailor Jerry. I never thought about that, but I could see that. I think because it has like a pinup style and it's like a mermaid, so I could see that. I did that with JJK, just caught up yesterday, such pain. I can't, I know the spoilers already and I can't do it. I can't. About JJK, I mean, I got up to like right before like the big battle, basically. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but what K-pop songs are you vibing to this summer? Me personally, I'm loving Dreamcatcher's new album. Oh, I didn't know Dreamcatcher had a new album out. I will have to check that out. I like Dreamcatcher, but I don't like keep up with them as closely as like some other groups. So I'm not like, you know, on the nose with like their comebacks and stuff, but I do like them. So I'll have to check that out. I really love the Seraphim's new song. I forget what it's called. It's like Eve and Psyche and the Bluebeard something. But it's very, very fun. I want to learn that choreo. Obviously, I'm obsessed with 17's Super or Sonogon. I've been like attempting to learn the choreo for that. Very challenging. When they said challenge, they weren't kidding. What else? Obsessed with what else? I'm trying to think. There is something else. Hold on. I have like a whole... I should just pull up my Spotify. What else am I listening to? Some of it's not even new because I'm like just discovering new things. I've been like listening to The Boys. Oh, Bite Me by Enhypen that just dropped. That's fun. Eve, Psyche, and the Bluebeard's Wife. That's the La Seraphim song. Slow by Jackson Wang and Chris Sierra. So fun. XG is they like did a collab with them. Fun. Yeah, I saw Jackson Wang earlier this month. And then my friend and I have tickets to Twice. So excited. So obviously I've been listening to Twice as well. What are your thoughts on the artistic style on the new Spider-Man Into / Across the Universe? Oh wait, Across the Spider-Verse, not universe, not the Beatles movie. Obsessed. Absolutely love Into the Spider-Verse and that whole animation style and like the details in the way that they approached it is amazing, and it looks incredible. That's kind of like, that's the side of like new animation that I'm really, really excited about, because the style is just so unique to the film, and it's really innovative, just the way that they were approaching stuff. Like how, like one particular instance was when Peter, is it Peter B. Parker, right? The Peter B. Parker and Miles are kind of earlier on in the film, they're both like swinging through the trees, and they chose like a lower frame rate, I think, for Miles when he was swinging, to make like his movement look more jittery and less smooth, and like as like to illustrate that he's less experienced. And like that's just such a cool like small detail that like makes a difference. And I think it's one of those things where, you know how when you look at like art concept for a film and you're like, damn, the concept art looks way more epic than the final product, whereas I feel like Into the Spider-Verse probably looks really close to what the concept art looks like. Anyway, that's my ramble about that. I freaking love that movie. I'm so excited for the new one. I just re-signed up for the print club, by the way, because this is so gorgeous. I have a mighty need. Finances were very low when I had my baby last year. Aw, oh my God. Well, congrats on your baby, and thank you so much for joining again. I'm really appreciative of that. I hope that, you know, this this print can live somewhere nice in your home. Nice coincidence that I'm working with gouache too. Oh, yay, I love that. I love fan art and do it, but I feel like my fan art is too interpretive, like changing the source too much, and I suspect that might not have been as well liked. I see what you mean. Like it's not as recognizable. Maybe. I mean, that could be like a thing to take note of just in the future. Maybe just like when you're interpreting fan art, maybe just like be sure to include a couple of really iconic things from that character or from the series to make it more obvious that it is from that thing. Does that make sense? I know that sounds like that's such a strange explanation, but I hope that makes sense. Just so like the character or the fan art that you're doing is more recognizable. Because I think that like that's the beauty, and I think that should be encouraged to obviously interpret the IP as your own. But yeah, you definitely want people to know that where the original source is coming from. And when they do know, I think it'll be, you know, they'll be like, oh, that's such a cool interpretation of it. It kind of like falls into when people ask me about capturing a character's likeness or a person's likeness when you're interpreting them in your own art style. And something that I always mention is like paying attention to the character design, or like if it's a real person, like the person, like what makes them uniquely them. So Sailor Moon is always the example that I go for. She has the iconic, like, her hair is probably the most iconic, and her color palette. So if you're doing, for example, if you're doing like a Sailor Moon fan art, like definitely, you know, make sure you keep her little space buns, like with the blonde hair, blue eyes, and then her color palette obviously is usually red and blue, but then in her like pedestrian wear, she often goes for like pastels. So, but even then, I've definitely seen people do tons of different interpretations of her, like punky goth style. I've done that myself. So yeah, it's just there's a balance to strike, and I'm sure the more you do it, the more experience you get with it, the better you'll be able to like find what works for you. There's such a good advice about not consciously tailoring art to what you think will sell. Sometimes a show, festival, convention is just not happening and there's no sense over analyzing it. Yeah, it's true. And that's another thing to keep in mind. And that's a good thing to note, is that maybe the audience at the particular convention you were at just like wasn't quite your audience. So for example, my friend who does conventions a lot, she typically does like anime and comic conventions primarily, because her art style is definitely like more anime leaning, and the type of like work that she makes just like suits that audience more. And she had recently tried to apply for Lightbox Expo, and she didn't get in, which initially I was really surprised by, because I was like, oh, like she does so many conventions. She's like, you know, a really good artist. But then I realized, yeah, like the type of audience that she typically has, or like her demographic, is a little bit different than what Lightbox is looking for, and like the audience that would be for Lightbox. So it's definitely like not a reflection of her level of skill or like the type of art that she does. It's just like a different demographic or a different audience. You're so lucky. I wish I could go see Twice. They're not performing anywhere near me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm really, honestly, like part of why I live in Toronto is like being able to access concerts and like events. Because if an artist ever comes to Canada, they usually will do Toronto and or Vancouver. Those are like the main, sometimes Montreal. Those are like the three main places. So oh, hey, just coming over to the stream. Holy shit, it's beautiful. Thank you. I mean, it was mostly done when I started, but working with color pencil piece as I watch. Yay, awesome. I've been so busy I couldn't see any of your lives in a while. Hey, did you ever give the CJ the X a try? YouTube video essays. Oh, yes. Oh my God. Thank you for mentioning that, because I wrote it down somewhere and then I like completely forgot where I'd written it down. I was like, what was that video essay person that people had recommended? So I need to start a special place for your like my live stream recommendations, because I always lose them. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to put it in my bullet journal, because this is something that I always have on hand. Isn't this adorable? This is a Lee Alexin sticker. And then I got it custom. Super cute Stray Kids sticker of IN. This is by O'Carroll on Instagram. Okay, so let's find a place for your recommendations. Okay, this should do. Just here. Okay. So let's start. I'm sorry for everyone here who came to see me paint. I'm so distracted. Hold on. But this is important business. Okay. Okay, C, J, and X essays. Okay. Officially have it down. I will check that out. That'll be perfect for background noise when I'm working on stuff. Okay. Oh. Hosier's touring, and the only place near me is Laval, the tiny suburb city next to Montreal. Why there? That is really bizarre, actually. I'm really surprised to hear he would, yeah, like skip Montreal and go somewhere like smaller. That is really bizarre. I mean, that's kind of, I wonder if that's like a venue like issue. Because I remembered last year Blackpink came to Canada, they went to Hamilton instead of Toronto, which was really bizarre to me because they're probably like the biggest girl group. So I was like, what? Why? They could easily do a Toronto show. And my friends and I were thinking, oh, maybe it's because they announced their tour so late, and they couldn't, like, all the Toronto venues were booked, so they opted for Hamilton instead. I'm not 100% sure if that's true, but that was the only explanation that my friend and I could think of. Do you have a favorite Twice song? Good question. I have been listening to them quite a bit lately. What is my favorite Twice song? I'm gonna look them up. Hold on. It kind of changes, right? I think it changes depending on... I really like Cruel. I know that's like a B-side, but I was like, oh, I really like this song. Think you're so cruel. I do like the newer stuff too. I know that people are saying that some people who are like longtime Twice fans are not as big a fan of their newer stuff, but I like it. Like the Ready to Be album. CJ the X. Okay. What's your favorite painting? Oh, of mine or of anyone's paintings? Because I don't know if I have an answer for that. That's a big question. Do you like Taylor Swift? I do. I wouldn't consider myself a Swiftie necessarily, but I do like her music generally. My friend just recently went to her Eras tour date in Newark, and it looks like she had a great time. She is like a big Swiftie, so I was very excited for her. Because I think it was her first concert as well, which is pretty amazing. Oh, I thought I wanted this to be more peach, but I actually don't think I like that much. So we're just gonna use a ton of water on this paintbrush and basically erase it. Amazing, right? Yeah, I love that Taylor is like re-releasing all of her stuff again. I think that is very cool of her. That is some boss energy. Where can I show you my art? So unfortunately, I don't do like mentorships or critiques or anything like that. So yes, I apologize, but that's just like not something that I do. I know some artists do offer like art mentorships and art critiques and stuff on like their various like Discords or like Patreon pages, but unfortunately that's just not something that I am currently doing. as a little sneak preview for my Japan haul, I did buy a ton of Holbein acrylic gouache, and I'm very excited to show them to you when I get around to the video, because they're so much cheaper in Japan, which makes sense because that's where they're made. But I kind of went crazy. I bought quite a few. But I've come to realize that it is probably my favorite paints. So it was definitely worth it to be able to get them like practically half price in Japan. And yeah, I've gotten, over the years, I've had many people ask me like what my favorite art medium is. And I've always had this like wishy-washy answer of like, it depends. Sometimes it's watercolor, sometimes it's gouache. And I think I've actually come to a place where acrylic gouache might be the answer now. I think I've actually been able to determine that, I think. I could very well change my mind at some point soon. But as of this moment right now, I feel like it is acrylic gouache. Buying their pastel set is a dream. Only sold in Japan now, I think. That's amazing you got so many for yourself. Oh my gosh, I saw that exact palette that you're talking about when I was in the art supply store there, and I was like this close to buying it. But there was this, there was like a warning on the packaging saying, yeah, like that it was specifically not sold in Canada or US because of some kind of chemical in one of the paints or something like that. And so I got nervous about the idea of it being confiscated potentially at customs. I don't think that would have happened, but I was like, you know, that would be the absolute worst thing to happen. So I was worried about risking that, so I did not end up buying that palette, but I was very close to buying it. I know exactly what you're talking about. So I ended up just buying colors individually, which probably amounted to a very similar color selection that pastel set had. But I think I also like did the math, and I think buying the set was not necessarily that much cheaper, I think, than individuals. So yeah, but yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Tina, how did you choose colors that go well together for every painting? I'm having choice paralysis on buying paints because I'm not sure what colors to buy, even with my color theory skills. Oh, interesting about customs fear. I wonder what the chemical was. Yeah, right. I have no idea. It had to have been like in a specific color that they just like don't sell at all in North America, because I was like, what is going on? But color selection, that is challenging. I've definitely over the years have purchased colors that I thought I was going to use and then don't end up using a ton. So part of it is experience, but yeah, like kind of if you have an Instagram or, you know, somewhere where you post your artwork, like look at your work overall and see like what color palettes you just like naturally gravitate towards, and then purchase your colors from there. So yeah, like I was talking about this earlier, how I've noticed that a lot of my illustrations, I use like pretty much the color palette you're seeing here, pinks, blues, and purples. And so that's something that I keep in mind when I'm buying new colors. But I also keep in mind that I want variations of tones. So I don't want to just go for pastels, even though pastels is like something that I do a lot. But I want to make sure I have like middle tones and dark tones to complement the pastels. And when it comes to paints, if you are like really trying to limit how many you buy, you can probably avoid buying pastels if you just want to buy like the mid-tone color and then buy a white, because then you can just make your own pastels. But for me, like I paint with pastels often enough that I can justify buying that color out of the tube, or like, yeah, pre-made, if that makes sense. I'm not entirely sure if the tail looks much different than it did earlier, but I feel like it's getting there. Maybe. I apologize if this is actually like so tedious to watch, because there isn't a lot of like large changes happening in this process, because it's a lot of just like tinkering around, but it is like a pretty realistic look at what the kind of final stages looks like for a painting. I mean, this is slightly slower because I am like chatting with you guys, but I do find these like kind of final stages to be, they are exciting but annoying at the same time, because you're worried about like ruining the piece, but you're also like, I'm constantly like, overthinking everything. Do you think you'll add pearlescent colors? You know what? Normally I always add pearlescent colors, or not always, I often add pearlescent colors. I didn't actually think about that for this piece though, but that totally would make sense, especially for all like the actual pearls in this piece. But I've already kind of rendered them, so I'm not sure actually. I think the other thing too is I can't have any pearlescent effects for the print. So maybe I'll skip it. I'm not sure. I've been a subscriber of yours for a while, and I feel like the tediousness of this stage of your process is just as enjoyable. Not at all inferior to a stage where you're putting down huge swatches of color or things like that. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad. Yeah, we will definitely get into some line art, and I think that'll be more satisfying for all of us. But yes, thank you, thank you. I do intend to do another swatch, or another wash of, or not a wash, another layer of this like super dark purple, but that I'll probably do off stream, because that will be like very, very boring to watch. But I think perhaps it's time to do some line art. Oh, hydration reminder, friends. Let's all drink some water. Have you heard about Hell's Paradise? If so, do you plan on watching it? Oh, someone else mentioned it previously. Is it an anime? I think it's an anime, right? as I pound coffee. I had a coffee earlier, so I feel you. Oh, I just revealed all of my plans on my... Is it an anime? I'll write it down. Hell's Paradise? Or maybe it's a K-drama. I've definitely gotten... I need to top off my coffee, so water for now. You're already like rendering it in a pearlescent like way. I feel it's giving the subsurface scattering, you know, if that makes sense. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's kind of, yeah, that's definitely the vibe for sure. And I think maybe maybe that might be part of my hesitation with adding pearlescent paints this time is I find that I never end up like doing any shading or rendering when I add like metallic paints. So then, oops, I just smudged. I smudged that. Whoops. Oh, maybe I should bring you guys a little closer since I'm doing liner now. Hold on. Can I adjust this? Let's see. Can I zoom in for you? Let's see. Adjusting the camera slightly, so hopefully you get a better view here. And zoom. There we go. Yeah, it's an anime. Okay, I will definitely keep an eye out for that because I do recall somebody else recommending it to me. But I would love to know, what is it about? I'm sure the other person who had recommended it to me probably told me, but I don't remember. And also, I'm sure that the chat would also be interested in knowing what Hell's Paradise is about. Because it is quite the interesting title, that's for sure. I have a printout of my line art here, so maybe I'll have this on hand for reference. Something that I want to do more often, or at least experiment with, is like heavier line art in like certain areas of a piece. Because I think I'm often like too timid and make my line art like really thin, or like the line variation is like not very obvious. But I want to lean into that more, I think, because there is something really satisfying about seeing other people's artwork that have more, like a strong variation in line weight. Also, I just realized it's off camera. I'm so sorry. I finally made it to one of your streams. Yay, welcome. I just realized I was doing a bunch of line art that was not even in camera, so I apologize. Yeah, I realized I messed up her eyebrow earlier, so I'll have to fix that later. Today's live stream is was totally random, but I'm happy to have y'all here hanging out with me today because I was feeling chatty today. What have we been binge watching lately? I binge watched ExoKitty, the Netflix show. That was like a spin-off from the movie series To All the Boys I Loved Before. I watched ExoKitty, and I still have like 1 or 2 episodes left of The Summer I Turned Pretty. That's so funny that they rhyme. But they're both series are like projects from writer Jenny Han, and they're both like coming of age stories centered around Asian American characters, but they're very different from each other, which I think is interesting. Like the tone of each show is really, really different. We love it, to be honest. Hi, everyone. Hello. Hello, hello. I've never watched any K-dramas, but I definitely feel like ExoKitty was really leaning into what I assume is a lot of like tropes or kind of nods from that genre. Honestly, I think probably one of the most exciting parts of watching ExoKitty was all of the K-pop songs that were part of the soundtrack. Because I'm predictable. I know a lot of people are really into The Last of Us. I have not seen that, unfortunately. But I am loving how Pedro Pascal is like in this like Renaissance era of his career. Hello, Tina and chat. Hello. Finished Cyberpunk the other day. So heavy, but also very relevant dystopia. Oh my god. You reminded me I need to finish that. I binge watched like the first 6 episodes of it, and I was like, I'm obsessed with this. I love it. And then I was like almost like too invested too soon because I was like really worried about the stakes and the outcome because, like you said, it is heavy. And I've talked about this many times before, but I get like very emotionally invested, and it can like be a detriment because it's like I get too stressed out. And so that's why I think I stepped away from finishing Cyberpunk, because I could feel it. I could feel the stakes were high. But I really should finish that off because it was a really, really cool series. So yes, you have reminded me. I definitely should finish that because it's really, really good. I had to do it in chunks. Same. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one. The pink is a stunning color. Thank you. YouTube won't let me paste the synopsis in the chat, but basically there are criminals who get a second chance at freedom if they are able to find a life elixir on this weird island where gods live. Ooh, that is very cool. Okay, so for anyone in the chat who's confused, that synopsis that we just got was for an anime called Hell's Paradise. Okay, written down. Thank you for the recommendation. Oh my gosh, okay. It completely eluded me that it's Mermay and now it's the 31st. I know the time goes by so fast. I originally wanted this painting to be done obviously like way sooner, but you know, life gets in the way. I went to my friend's bridal shower this past weekend. And I was reminded of how so many people have partners. And I was like, oh, am I literally the only person here who doesn't have a partner? Which is fine. It's just funny. Do you use gouache? Yes, I do use gouache. And this is gouache that I'm using right now. The blues in the piece are also giving me like Hindu god Ganesha. Oh, very cool. Isn't that just like the beauty of art? It can be interpreted and seen in so many different ways. I love that. And are we still on camera? I'm so sorry. Okay, let me zoom out because I keep messing that up. But yeah, we are definitely in wedding season. My other friend has like a bachelorette that she's going to next weekend that she's been planning. Hydration reminder. My table is not big enough for all this. Okay. I think for the what would these be called? I guess the fins? I guess they're fins. I'm going to use, I think, like a lighter mix rather than the super dark purple, just because I want them to be a little bit more, have like a translucent effect. So I think it makes sense to, I mean, I say that this color is already still kind of dark, but hello, hello. I've had weddings in my community every weekend since April 30th. Oh my God, that's crazy. I get that. My friends have been having babies for 20-ish years now, and being infertile hits different when you celebrate with them. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's really hard. They really said we're waiting for spring. Yeah, springtime is definitely wedding season for sure. I guess for me, like, even though I'm 31, I had to think about that. So naturally, it makes a lot of sense for my peers to be getting married and having kids and stuff. But ironically, a lot of like my really close friends are not in that stage of their life. So this whole like wedding season thing, or like me being included in the whole wedding season thing, is like pretty new to me. And yeah, all the like wedding tradition stuff is so bizarre to me. Like, there's the wedding shower, and then there's the bachelorette party, and then there's the wedding, but then sometimes there's like extra stuff and dress fittings, and it's just very involved. Did you have reference for the lighting situation? It looks so good. Thank you so much. I had a little bit of a reference. I mean, I am using my own reference. Like, I made a digital version first, so that's like my reference right now. But in terms of the, like, when I was actually planning and working on this, so for part of this pose, essentially the torso and the arms, I did use actually a Graffiti Studio photo for reference. I don't have the link in this description of this live stream right now, but hold on. I'm sure a lot of people would be interested. So I've mentioned them before, but they are a really, really great tool for artists. So it's called, hold on, Graffiti Studio. I'm pretty sure that's spelled correctly. I access them through Gumroad. They're also on ArtStation, I believe. And basically they create like photo reference albums that are specifically catered to artists. And they have like lots of different themes. They even have a mermaid one, which is where I got my kind of pose reference from. And I have a promo code for you if I can find it. Yes. What is it? Shoot. I want to say it's I'm a Wonder 15 or I'm a Wonder 20. Try both of them to get 15 or 20% off when you purchase from Graffiti Studio. This is my extremely professional way of getting information to you guys during a live stream. Usually I have it in some of my descriptions when I talk about them, but anyway. I am 22. Most of my friends are getting married, having babies. It feels strange for me, like we're not teens anymore. Oh my gosh, that's wild. Wow. Am 44. I still don't have a partner or a baby, but am the godmother to 6 kids, so I'm good. Yeah, that's wow. So yeah, you're set in terms of like having a lot of people on your plate. Are you reading any good manga at the moment? You know what? I actually am not reading any manga at the moment. I am reading some webtoons though. I mean, it hasn't changed. I feel like I've been reading the same webtoons for ages. But I mean, webtoons are in manga. They're like long, ongoing. But I'm very excited that the Remarried Empress, as well as Men of the Harem are both back from like their breaks slash hiatuses, because those are two webtoons that I've been really enjoying for quite a while. So excited that they are back and running. And yeah, so that's what I've been consuming. I'm working on my thesis with you as my background noise. I'm glad. Good luck on your thesis. Oh my gosh. Even her handwriting is artwork. Oh my god, really? Thank you. They do go on very long. I know. It's so frustrating when, for me, like, I'm very impatient when it comes to romances. So it's so frustrating when it takes like 100 chapters for, you know, like the main characters to like confess their feelings or whatever. But I get it. It's, you know, that's how it goes. What else? Oh, I started listening to, I mentioned this in one of my YouTube videos. I've been very slowly listening to an audiobook. I've been listening to Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. That's her name, right? It's the book series that the Shadow and Bone Netflix TV show is like based around, or part of it, based around of course, the Six of Crows characters. Because I realized that was definitely my favorite part of the TV show, like those characters. So I figured maybe it's time that I actually just like, you know, give the book a go. Or books. It's a duology. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't love some of the narration that's happening in the audiobook that I'm listening to, so that's kind of deterred me a little bit from keeping up with it, unfortunately. Yes, I started to reread season 2 of Remarried Empress because I fell off it for a bit. Oh, I hope that you enjoy, because I guess it is the third season that's just started up again. I'm reading The Girl from the Other Side by Nagabi, and the next book version of Lore Olympus is out next month. Can't wait. Ooh, exciting. Ooh, plus size / curvy mermaid. Yay. Yes. Oh yeah, Shadow and Bone got season 2. Yes. Season 2 of Shadow and Bone is out. Yes, I binged. Yeah, I guess it's still a binge if I watched it in like a week or two. But yeah, I was like, didn't love it as much as I loved the first season for some reason. Favorite ship in Men of the Harem. Oh my gosh. 100% Tassir. Tassir is my favorite. I absolutely love him. So for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about or what we're talking about, Men of the Harem is a webtoon, and it starts out as a harem, but then it's like evolved into this like political power play, which is quite interesting. And it's also like heavy on the fantasy. There's like zombies and vampires and prophecies and stuff. And it's very fun. But there is a harem. And yeah, the character Tassir is my favorite. He's a mercenary, right? Yes, works for the black market. He's got just like a very fun, cheeky personality, and I find his dynamic with the Empress so entertaining. I would love to know, Jacqueline, who your favorite ship is in Men of the Harem. Oh, I like Leigh Bardugo. Yay, I'm glad. Are you more of a Shadow and Bone gal, or are you more of a... Oh, I'm sorry, I just assumed your pronoun, sorry. Are you more of a Shadow and Bone person or Six of Crows person? I would love to know. All my friends are just gals in terms of when I talk about people. So I apologize that I just like assumed. Not actually all gals, but I just say gals, my gal pals. Okay, so next I do need to do the rest of her seashell part here. I'll zoom you guys in again. I feel like, oh yeah, doing the line art for all these teeny little pearls is gonna be taxing. So maybe I'll do that later. Oh no. I feel like that's not quite the line I wanted. So if you work fast enough with acrylic wash, you can kind of smudge and or erase it a little bit. There we go. Also, if anyone is wondering, not that anyone has asked, but in case anyone wonders, the teeny tiny paintbrush, 3/0. I think that's like the smallest size that I've ever owned in a paintbrush in any brand. So if you're ever looking for a really fine paintbrush, most brands I think will carry it, but yeah, 3/0 is going to be what you're looking for. It's very small. She, her, I like her adult series, Ninth House and Hellbent. Oh, okay, yes, fair. I'm not familiar with Lee's other work because I'm only familiar with the Shadow and Bone because of the TV series, but that's cool. I'll definitely have to keep an eye out after I get through what's it called? Six of Crows. I wish I was more of a reader than I am. Like, I listen to various booktubers oftentimes, even though I don't read that much. It's very bizarre. To be honest, I hope she ends up with the captain guy, Sonat. I forgot, LOL, but I don't know if they'll ever make him a true love interest. I do like Sir Sonat as well. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but I know exactly who you're talking about. I think that they will I think he will be a contender, I should say. I don't know if it's like endgame necessarily, but I think he would be a contender. Someone made a good point that he's on the cover like of the in the thumbnail for the series. So he definitely, I think, is a key key character for her. And I feel like they wouldn't set up, you know, him having feelings for her if they didn't intend to do something with him and her, you know? So I have hope for you. I would not be mad at that pairing, but Tessir is for sure my favorite, personally. Whoa, you're live. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, I am. Hello, welcome. Wait, is it Wednesday? Hold on. What? Oh my god. What? This keeps happening to me, guys. I keep losing a day. I was fully convinced it was Tuesday today. Thank you for reminding me. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to get it in the mail. Yay, thank you. What is a booktuber? Booktuber is a YouTube channel where the person focuses on books. Like their content is mostly revolved around books, whether it be like reviewing them or you know, like discussing themes, or I don't know. That's like that's the best way I could explain it. But yeah, I really like with Cindy, her YouTube channel. She's just so funny. Yeah, sometimes I'll watch her booktube content or like book related content even if I've never read the book. I've also enjoyed, she does like movie reactions and TV show reactions as well. And she's just like very funny and charismatic. Like she did like a series like watching the Shadow and Bone TV show because she's read the books, so I think she had like an interesting insight. And then she's done reactions to Heartstopper, which is a TV show that I loved, which is the second season is coming out soon, I think, right? Very excited for that. I'm sure I will cry because that's just the vibe. The show is so sweet and wholesome. I cry so easily when it comes to like TV shows and books and stuff. I don't cry that easily when it comes to real life, but movies and TV shows, that's a whole nother thing. Speaking of Bizarre, are you into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean? I actually haven't seen much JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, unfortunately. I have seen, I think, the first 2 episodes of the very first season. I really wanted to give it a try because it's so, like, it's so well loved. Like, people really love the series. And I get questions about it a lot, but I don't know. I had a hard time finding the willpower to watch it. Any tips on using acrylic gouache? I just got some Holbein, but I'm intimidated since I heard they dry extremely fast, like in the pan, before you can use them. So my tip is use small amounts at a time, because it is true that it will dry quickly. My new godsend, which I know is like, you know, maybe not what you want to get into right away because it's like another investment, but there's this thing called a Stay Wet palette, which I'm using, and it's basically like a container palette that has like this wet sponge, and then you put like a palette paper on top, and that keeps the paints moist for a longer period of time. I've heard people do DIY versions of it where I think they use just like, yeah, like literally like some kind of like sheet of foam, like craft foam inside a Tupperware, and then wax paper or like palette paper on top. So you might be able to like do a DIY version of it if you don't want to invest in, you know, another thing, because I imagine, you know, you're just getting into acrylic gouache, so maybe you don't want to like jump in too heavily with all the things. But yeah, I've definitely like, you know, this Stay Wet palette situation, this is actually like very new for me. I've been using acrylic gouache for like many years just with like a ceramic palette. So in that sense, I would just say like squeeze out small amounts of paint at a time, so that you're not wasting it. But it's I think another thing too is the way that I use acrylic gouache is I mix a lot of water into it because I like painting with it in like a slightly thinner consistency. And so I think that also helps it to stay wet longer because there's just like more water content in it. Like I very rarely, it's like pretty not like, what am I trying to say? It's not very common for me to use the acrylic wash straight out of the tube. I almost always mix it with water. Oh, but yes, yeah, don't put them in like a pan. Like I think, yeah, you're definitely going to be using it once, or like you're going to be using it in one's painting session essentially. So like in your palette, mixing palette. Hydration reminder, friends. I'm glad that a lot of booktubers have found manga and include it in content now. Ooh, that's great. I love that. Yeah, I was having this conversation with my cousin a couple days ago about how like anime and manga, how far it's come in terms of pop culture and mainstream media is so crazy to me, because I was in, like, when I was in high school and I was like, you know, in the height of my anime manga craze, that it was not cool at all. It was considered extremely weird, very niche behavior. And so I was like very ashamed and embarrassed about it, like sharing it with, you know, people in high school, that that was something that I was like interested in. But now, like, it's it's so like popular now, or it's like more well known and seen as a lot more normal. Like she was saying that her friends went to a music festival or a rave or something, and they all dressed up in like Akatsuki wear from Naruto, and I was like, what the heck, that's amazing. Ain't no way people were doing that like 15 years ago. But yes, I wish you the best of luck in your acrylic wash journey. If you haven't seen them yet, I actually have a number of acrylic wash YouTube videos on my channel, like with like process and advice and tips and stuff. Um, I work with a lot of different mediums and have a lot of different types of videos. So on the like front home, like the homepage, I guess, of my YouTube channel, I've actually like compiled different playlists based off of what type of video it is to make everyone's lives a little easier. So I do have a playlist specifically just for gouache. And just like check in the, I will have probably included in the title whether or not it's regular gouache or acrylic gouache. But yeah, so because I know that, you know, people are here for different things for my channel. So I have like playlists for sketchbook stuff, or playlists for watercolors, playlists for even these live streams. Actually, there's like a playlist just for them, because I know some, like a lot of people like having these play in the background while they work on stuff as like co-working sessions. So yeah, I have like a playlist for my vlogs and, you know, all the things, because I am a woman of variety. I can never bring myself to disclose my past love for anime/manga as well, although it's certainly a relic of the past mentality. It is, right? I totally understand. Um, there's some high school trauma attached to it, I think. But thankfully I'm in a place where a lot of my friends already know about my anime manga love, and also a few of them are also into it. So that is the beauty of being an adult now, is you know, having a more curated selection of friends or people that you spend time with. Whereas high school, you're sort of like lumped with, you know, whoever lives in your area code, more or less. Like, I'm not friends with anyone from high school at all. Yeah. Any friend that I have from before college is a friend that I've had before high school, if that makes sense. Thanks for the co-working session, Tina. It's always appreciated. I'm glad. Aw, thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, I'm always curious about like what you guys are getting up to during my live streams, because I know that, you know, a lot of people are not necessarily participating in the chat but have the video live stream playing, so it's always fun to hear what people are up to, because I'm nosy like that. Yesterday, while I was working on the bulk of this painting, I had a bunch of Pipa's live streams. I say a bunch. She has like 2 live streams on YouTube that's like that she had done previously, and I was just like replaying them in the background because she just has like such a calm, soothing energy in her live streams. I'm here for every type of content you make. Aw, thank you so much, Laura. I really appreciate that. I love how you made the tail see-through. Thank you so much. Yeah, I feel like when I bring in a little bit of line art here, it'll make the tail more obviously see-through, because I do feel like I lost a little bit of the transparency there. But thank you. I'm glad that you noticed. I'm working from home and my job is 2D animation for TV. What? That's so cool. Wow. Congratulations. I'm working on my June bullet journal since work is slow. Ooh, yes. Love that. I definitely need to do my June bullet journal spread. Not that it's very exciting, but I do need to work on that as well. I love watching your live streams while I crochet. Oh, cute. I'm watching Family Feud right now. Oh, nice. I'm working on my mermaid before May ends. This month was very busy. I'm thankful to be working alongside you. Oh, I love that we're on the same, completely on the same boat. Yeah, May was very busy for me as well. Busy, but also, I don't know what it is. I have a really hard time staying on task. I feel like I just get distracted so easily. Which is honestly like what's so great about these live streams is I'm distracted just enough from like the chat room, distracted in a good way with the chat room. I'm doing this all wrong. Hold on. But I feel like because I know, you know, we're all here for me doing these, you know, paintings or illustrations or whatever, it keeps me on task because my phone is literally the thing that's filming, so I can't use that as a distraction, and I'm like being held accountable because I'm live streaming, if that makes sense. Yes, everyone, don't forget to hydrate. But yeah, I feel like I'm trying to like work on a lot of different things in the background. Like, I feel really bad that my shop has been closed for so long, but I also really want to have new merchandise to put in it when I finally open, but I can't seem to find time to make new merchandise. I'm like, where is all the time going? So a part of me is wondering if maybe it might be wise to take not a break from YouTube, but maybe I'll make a couple less YouTube videos and focus on the shop, just because it's so hard to find time for all the things. So that's something I've been thinking about. I have a year-long contract with Squarespace, so I for sure will always be making at least 1 or 2 videos a month. Or at least, yeah, always at least 1 video a month, but we'll see. Just thinking out loud, you know? Have you ever considered the route that some artists take where they rent a studio space to kind of go to work? You also went on vacation, so it's understandable that it takes some time to get back into it. Thank you so much. Yes, I did go on a little weekend vacation to, well, I did Japan last month, and then I went to New York a couple weekends ago. So yeah, there's been a lot going on. But in terms of a studio outside of like my home, I had considered it a while ago, like a long time ago, in terms of more space, but honestly, I actually really enjoy working from home. Obviously, there are like some elements about it where I'm like, oh, like I haven't spoken to another human being in like 3 days. Or like, yeah, just like kind of the social element of it. But yeah, I don't know. I actually really do enjoy working from home. And also, rent in Toronto is high in general. So including an expense of an extra studio spaces, I don't think would be wise on my part right now. But also, yeah, again, I do genuinely enjoy working from home. So, and for those of you who don't know, I actually do have like a separate room, or it's technically a den, for my studio space. So I'm not like working out of my living room or anything. So it is sort of already like a separate space. Looks amazing. I completely forgot Mermay. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is I only managed to do 2 mermaids this month. I was very surprised to see you on a live stream on a Wednesday. Most of the time you make them Fridays and the weekends. Yes, today was a very spontaneous live stream. Normally Fridays and weekends, but I was feeling chatty today. Oh my god, true about rent. I'm struggling right now to find an apartment. Why do they bid on leases? I don't understand. Bid on leases? Oh my gosh, I didn't even know. For rentals or for buying? Oh my gosh, either way. I'm so sorry. Good luck. Yeah, apartment hunting, house hunting, all of it. So challenging, so stressful. I wish you the best of luck. I always joke with my friends, I'm like, I'm not moving for a real long time. Cause that rent control is saving my butt. Which maybe is an appropriate time to say thank you to everyone who supports me in any shape, way, or form, because it all contributes to me living my artist life in Toronto. It is amazing. It really is. At my friend's bridal shower, she had invited a lot of our like childhood friends who we hadn't seen in a really long time. And it was so surreal to like catch up with these people who I hadn't seen in so long. And, you know, like we're all adults and living our lives. And when they were asking me like what I do for a living, and it's still so surreal to legitimately say that I'm like a full-time artist, like self-employed, independent, you know, small business essentially. So yeah, that's still so cool to me. So thank you for everyone who's here and all my patrons and the support and stuff. It's deeply, deeply appreciated. For rentals, we were looking for a place near Lakeshore, and the guy was like, well, I got offers X amount more than the listing. What? What? That is crazy. The rent control places are so hard to get into. If you are, that's great. Oh my gosh, that is insane. I had no idea that there was lease bidding for rentals. I'm so sorry. That's awful. Hello, hello, welcome. As it goes in any live stream, I'm always having like 3 conversations at the same time. So I can imagine it's so confusing when people first jump in. They're like, wait, what is she talking about? But yes, the motion that I wanted happening for her seashell bra here is that the pearls are supposed to kind of be in a scallop shape. So that's why I had to fix this part, because it wasn't actually following the original shape that I had wanted. So I need to, I didn't fix it completely because we need the shadow area. Then also like the pearl color. I gotta let that dry. Very small details. But yeah, when I was actually at the bridal shower and I was like talking to people and they're like, how are you like doing rent in Toronto and stuff? Or like, how do you feel about living in Toronto? Like, is it worth it and all that stuff? But like for me, I am a city person. I've come to realize I really enjoy not having to drive, being able to just like take public transit or walk everywhere. I was talking earlier about how there's, you know, lots of concerts to be able to go to, so much different food to try. Like there's so many food options. The majority of my friends live in Toronto as well, so that's a huge one. So yeah, it's to me it's definitely worth it, but I totally recognize that not everyone is a city person. It is very busy, very hectic, lots of people. It can be very loud. I'm actually really impressed today that through this whole live stream I haven't heard any construction or any major like fire trucks or ambulances go by, because that's a pretty common thing. Will we ever get any more makeup videos? Oh, oh my God, really? I mean, I'm very flattered that you asked. I don't know, actually. I never really thought about it. For those of you who don't know, during one of my studio vlogs, I had included like a time lapse of me putting on makeup. And then I released like basically a makeup tutorial process on my Patreon exclusive video, like as a bonus. And yeah, I don't know, it's kind of fun because I get compliments on my makeup sometimes. I love makeup. Like I love putting on makeup. I love all that. It's fun. Will I ever do? I don't know. I don't know. Never say never. Maybe in like a YouTube short or something. That might make sense. In my Japan vlog, I had someone ask if I would do like a closet tour of like my favorite outfits or like favorite pieces in my closet, which I was like very flattered by as well. So again, I'm like, maybe I'm gonna like think of some more things for like short form videos in that vein. Currently painting along, and I'm fairly new to gouache, but enjoying it so far. Yay, I'm glad. When's the part 2 Japan trip coming out? Hi Tina, hope you're feeling better. Thank you so much. I am feeling a lot better, hence why I'm live streaming right now. Yeah, yesterday was like, I was like, okay, I think I'm getting there. And then this morning I was like, okay, I'm pretty much tip-top shape again. Japan part 2, I think I'm aiming for June. I do think I'm due for like an art video first, and then Japan part 2. And then Japan haul. And then painting with or using some of the supplies that I got from the Japan art supply store. But I am trying to like stagger the Japan stuff just so it's not like all Japan stuff, especially for the people who are not necessarily interested in all that and just want, you know, art content. So but yeah, I'm hoping to do another live stream probably this coming Friday, so literally in like 2 days, for my monthly favorites live stream. Probably the usual like 1 o'clock Eastern time. Cause yeah, I'm determined to keep up with the monthly favorites. And it's cool to see other people doing it. I've been getting, you know, people tagging me on Instagram that have been doing the challenge as well. So that's really cool. It's a nice way to like have memories of your month. Loving the piece. Thank you so much. Have you ever used the Canva editing app for anything? Canva. That sounds familiar. I don't believe I have, though. But I've definitely heard of Canva before. Yes, a closet tour would be so cool. Oh, thank you. Might not be doing like, probably won't do like a closet tour, but I have been thinking about, okay, this is like so niche, but hear me out. I have been thinking about doing a like outfit type reel or YouTube short where I like make outfits based off of like different like outfits inspired by different like K-pop eras, if that makes sense. So like I would do it like per group. So like, you know, outfits inspired by BTS eras, and then I do like a Boy with Love outfit and like a mic drop outfit or whatever. So like kind of similar to how, if you guys saw, I did when when the Netflix Wednesday TV show came out, I did like 2 outfits, one saying that I was an Enid and one that I was a Wednesday. So kind of videos like that where I'm just like showing off different outfits, which I think is kind of fun. I got the K-pop one, the K-pop idea from someone I saw on Instagram who was doing, he wasn't doing K-pop eras, he was doing individual members like airport outfits. Like he was doing outfits inspired by their airport fits. But yeah, anyway, that is something that I've been thinking about. Did you film your trip in NYC? I did. I did film it with the intentions of like turning it into something for YouTube, but I'm kind of conflicted. I don't know, because it was only 4 days, right? My New York trip, or no, 3. It was like a long weekend. And so there's not like quite as much content in the sense of like my Japan vlog, but I was like, oh, I could just make a shorter video. It's not a big deal. But then the Japan vlog like performed so poorly. And I'm like, if people didn't watch the Japan vlog, I'm like, who's gonna watch the New York one? Not to like diss New York or anything. I had fun, but I feel like Japan is more exciting than New York in terms like a video. So I'm kind of conflicted. So I have the footage, so I might try to, I'm not really sure. I'm going to do something with it, but it might not be like just a New York vlog. I might have to find a different way to use the footage, if that makes sense. No, I love the Japan vlog. Aw, well, thank you. I will say, like, I'm extremely appreciative of everyone who has like commented on the video and who have enjoyed it. I will still definitely do like all the proposed Japan videos that I like mentioned. But yeah, it is tricky, right? Like to strike the balance between I was actually talking about this earlier with someone in the stream, but like just, striking a balance between like working on things that perform well versus like working on things that you just enjoy. Obviously, the dream is to have both. But you really never know, right? I kind of actually assumed that the Japan vlog would do well because I think a lot of people enjoy Japan content, but I do recognize that it was purely a vlog and had like no art related content in it. And also like my YouTube channel hasn't been like performing the way that it had in like 2 years ago or whatever. But again, this is the importance of making content that you enjoy making, because then if it doesn't perform well, at least you had fun making it. And I think that, yeah, for you guys who do enjoy the content, then like I'm glad that someone's enjoying it. Right? And honestly, there is like a blessing in disguise with my YouTube channel like being so quiet lately, is I get fewer weird comments or like not so nice comments. They're usually all very nice. Do you have any tips for acrylic gouache for someone who's only used a traditional gouache? I would say take advantage of the fact that your layers underneath have like totally dried. So like I'm able to like do a lot of like watery layers and stuff, which I normally wouldn't be able to do with regular gouache. But a hot tip for sure is keep in mind that it does dry a lot faster. And it does dry permanent in your palette. But also the benefit with acrylic gouache is that it's the color shift is really minimal from when it's wet to dry. So that's really nice. You could do a page like monthly favorites except New York things from your footage. Yes, yeah. I think that's kind of the idea that I had in mind. Like I would do maybe like a sketchbook page of New York, do a sketchbook page using references from the photos I took in New York and then include some of the footage in the video. So yeah, we are on the same page. I'm thinking something like that. So it wouldn't necessarily be like just a vlog. She looks so good, Tina. You're so talented. Aw, thank you so much. Hi, this is looking gorgeous. Thanks so much, guys. Yeah, I've been like very fiddly with it because it's like very close to being done. Honestly, I think at this point we're like really close. I'm going to use the white paint marker. Oh, and then I guess the tail. Yes, okay. Yeah, oh yeah, I need to finish the pearls, but that's really not very exciting for you guys to watch. So I think what I'll do is white paint marker. Where is that? Hold on. We got that little white paint marker. I'm gonna give it a shake, so apologies for the noise. Oh, that is great. I don't know. There was a small color shift. I'm so used to watercolor and gouache shifting. Thank you. Yes, it's really... I really like it. I really like not having the color shift. This is making me want to paint today. Ooh, yay! I'm glad. I hope that you get around to painting. So this is like one of my favorite things on the planet, is adding in these bright white highlights with my paint marker. And I guess on this part here, yeah, I feel like I'll finish the outline of the pearls in a bit because it's just so tedious. So I think what I'll do is we're gonna paint some of the kind of background area around the tail and like finish up the tail, and then we'll kind of call it a day, I think, because I think that's pretty much the main thing that's left, which that will be like satisfying to watch for you guys. So this like dark purple that I've been using is this color here from Turner's Acrylic Gouache. What is the color actually called? J Black Purple. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Now that I've gotten like I have a decent handle on like, yeah, Turner's Turner's, Holbein, and Liquitex. They're very similar to each other, but I do think that the Holbein is my favorite if I had to pick. But again, they're like fairly comparable with each other, and I use them interchangeably very often. But like, yeah, if I had to pick a favorite. But I do believe, of course, the Holbein, if you're not in Japan, it is probably the most expensive of the three, I think. But the prices vary depending on where you are, I think. I don't know if this is out of topic, but what are your thoughts on the new Stray Kids album 5 stars? Oh my god, I'm so excited. Wait, is the album out already? I know what I'm doing later if it is out. Also, no worries on changing the subject. I'm always happy to tackle whichever topics. Obviously, I'm very partial to K-pop chats. I had no idea that the album was out. I've only seen a few of the teasers, to be honest, because I didn't want to like spoil too much. No, but I wanted to know your thoughts. Oh, okay, fair. I mean, I'm a big Stray Kids fan, so I'm extremely excited. That's for sure. I've seen like a couple of the teaser trailers for it, and yeah, I'm like really curious about the concept because I feel like the previous concepts were like so clear, like Case 143 and Maniac, and Thunderous. Like I feel like the concepts like were so, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, like very clear. So I'm really like, yeah, I'm just like so intrigued by this 5-star concept comeback. But yeah, very excited regardless. I love the boys. The Stray Kids boys, I mean. I like the boys as well. I've been watching their like variety show when I go to the gym. I say go to the gym as if I'm like very active, but I literally just like, I pop onto the elliptical for 30 minutes while I watch some kind of K-pop variety show and then just leave. Like today I watched another part of the Game Caterers with 17. Like the one with producer Na PD. So funny. I love all the 17 content that we've been getting lately. Yes, it looks very cool. Yeah, when I was on my New York trip, I was like seeing the clip from, I forget which song it is. Oh, I think it's Top Line, right? Where Felix is wearing that like big red coat and there's like money flying everywhere. And I just like turned to my friend and I was like, I think Stray Kids is in their rap girl era. Because that was just like the vibe I got with like the big coat and the money like everywhere. But obviously that was like only a preview of a specific song. But anyway, that was my initial reaction to it. Liquitex is good straight out of the bottle, but I find it less pigmented than Holbein. Yes, yeah, Liquitex is like more fluid straight out of the bottle. But I think because of that, it's, yeah, like it's not quite as opaque. And I also find the Liquitex packaging kind of frustrating. Like I understand like the intention that they had behind it, but I find that like this part, the like nozzle, ends up getting clogged really easily, so they end up actually having to take off the whole thing and then like scoop the paint out, which is like not very user friendly. Whereas these types of tubes, it's like pretty difficult to like get any clogging. I keep wondering how you did the beautiful color transition on this piece. That's so incredible. Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely a lot of back and forth. But that's the beauty of acrylic wash. Like I do think that this look would have been really challenging with any other medium because like I didn't have to worry about any shifting or no, lifting of like previous layers. I apologize that I didn't get the chance to like film the process, like actually film the process of this piece. I really wanted to, that was my intention, but I was running out of time. So, and filming my YouTube or filming my painting process makes the process take longer, and I was like kind of on a tight deadline. But yeah, a lot of back and forth and like thin layers, which, yeah, is something that you can do because the layers are drier. I mean, permanently dried after as opposed to regular gouache, which like if you do too much scrubbing or water, it'll like lift again. Okay, so basically, maybe I'll do some line art here on the tail. The clogging is universal. All of my Liquitex nozzles are. Oh my god, okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one, because I was like, am I just like doing this wrong? Because yeah, it's extremely frustrating. Yeah, but the paints themselves are fine, and I actually like I like Liquitex as a brand, but yeah, they just sad. So I ended up having to like either use a palette knife or a paintbrush and like dig it out of there. Oh wait, I actually, you know what? I want to do like really subtle line art for the shell underneath this, because then that'll help make it look more transparent, and that was my intention. So I have the line art printout here, so I'm gonna use that as a guideline since I pretty much lost it when I painted the tail. So I'm gonna use the pencil first. Yeah, I cannot see it anymore. What the heck? Okay. That looks about right, right? Okay. Okay. Is that bottle stiff? Why have a nozzle on something that looks hard to squeeze? The bottle technically is not stiff. Can you see? It is squeezable. It is on the stiffer side though. Like it's definitely stiffer than this. So yeah, the intention was good in terms of like the intention of having like a tighter nozzle like that is good, but it's not in execution. I didn't know there was a stream today. Oh no, it's okay. I literally decided to do this live stream extremely last minute, so you're not ill-informed or anything. I just was very spontaneous today. I literally woke up and I was like, do I want to do a live stream of me finishing off this painting since I know it's almost done? So, and we've reached like the tail end, but I'm gonna, there's like 40 of you guys here, so you know, let's keep going. It's fine. Hi, just joined. Your illustration looks beautiful so far. I love the colors. The mermaid looks so pretty. Okay, they need to redesign it though. Thank you so much, guys, for the lovely comments. Yeah, the Liquitex bottle design, not super strong. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, maybe there's somebody out there who doesn't have issues with it, but that's not me. But yeah, if I'm gonna be buying more acrylic gouache, it'll definitely be from Holbein. Maybe Turner's, maybe, but probably mostly Holbein. Honestly, and I bought enough when I was in Japan that I'm probably set for a while. Hi, everyone. Isn't her art amazing? Aw, thank you. Off topic, but are you excited for Stray Kids' new comeback? I am. We were just talking about it earlier. Yes, I'm extremely excited for the Stray Kids comeback. I have not watched like all of the trailers leading up to it because I want like some things to be a surprise. But yes, I noticed that Stray Kids and ATEEZ, I think, are having comebacks like pretty close together. Which, I mean, I'm not mad at it. It's exciting. I'm a new but very excited ATEEZ fan as well. So this will be my first ATEEZ comeback, which I watched the trailer for and I was freaking out because the concept looks so cool. It's got this like cyberpunk Blade Runner vibe, which I love. It looks so cool. I was saying earlier that the Stray Kids comeback, I'm like more confused by. I'm very intrigued, don't get me wrong, but I'm confused in terms of like exactly what the concept is. Like I just said, like the ATEEZ comeback was like so clear to me. I was like, oh, cyberpunk, like Blade Runner vibe, got it. Whereas with the Stray Kids one, I'm like, what's happening exactly? I'm intrigued, but what's happening? So I'm sure it'll make sense when it comes out. It is amazing. Nice colors. Love the hair. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm always in a dilemma of whether or not I want to go really short with my hair or grow it out super long. I'm kind of an in-between with my hair right now, but yeah. Okay. Oh, you know what? I actually need to do the line art for the hair here. Can you see? Should I zoom in? Hold on. There we go. I'm gonna wrap up the stream, but I'm finding more things to work on, so. And honestly, usually what ends up ending my live streams is either I genuinely finish the thing that I'm working on, or I get hungry. But I smartly ate a pretty big lunch right before coming on stream today, so I am not hungry yet. I do technically have some errands to run, but... Oh, actually, now that I'm doing the line art here, oops. Usually I have my hair in a curly pixie cut this time of the year, but I'm growing it out for my wedding, so we have more options for styling. Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations on your upcoming wedding. But yes, that is not a bad idea in terms of growing it out to have more options, because that's definitely something that my friend is running into. She already got married, but she is now one of the bridesmaids to a wedding that I'm a part of. And yeah, so she also has like a pixie cut, and she's like, yeah, there isn't really a lot of hairstyle options for me since it's so short, so that's not a bad idea to grow it out for more options. But yeah, having a short pixie cut in the summertime, that sounds like the dream. It gets really hot in the summer, and having long hair is very cumbersome. What did you have for lunch? I had some rice and some veggies and some protein. It was pretty satisfying. I made it last night and then had the leftovers this morning, or not this morning, this for lunch. But yeah, I've been really into gailan, Chinese broccoli. It's so easy. Like I just like blanch it, oyster sauce, call it a day. I know that there's like more interesting ways to prepare it, but I'm so not someone who like loves cooking. If I was like filthy rich, I would have a personal chef for sure. Cooking is just like not one of my interests. I admire people who enjoy doing it though, and are good at it. Oh, Tina, so beautiful. I haven't painted in a minute. You've inspired me again. Oh, yay. I hope that you have fun if you get around to some painting. Lining the hair is always my favorite part. I love making swoopy motions. It is really satisfying, right? It's a little bit nerve-wracking, but it's so satisfying because it just looks so like crisp and delicious. Thankfully, like this line art and the base color for the hair is like pretty close, so it actually feels less nerve-wracking. And also probably because I have, because I'm using regular gouache, no, acrylic gouache, sorry. Because I'm using acrylic gouache, I know that like if I make a really bad boo-boo, I can fix it. It is a bummer to lose the sketch though. I feel like the sketch lines that I had originally for the hair were more interesting than what I'm now doing, but you win some, you lose some. I don't care for cooking either. Me too. Cooking is so overwhelming for me, and then there's dishes. ADHD hell. Oh my god. I'm glad that I'm not the only one. Thank you, friends. I'm glad. Honestly, like, I've never been diagnosed, but I do find that, like, whenever I hear about other people who are diagnosed with ADHD, it really resonates with me. I feel like I have a lot of similarities in the tendencies that I have. But yeah, I just find cooking like, yeah, it's so tedious and boring, and yeah, dishes are annoying, and the saving grace for me is the way that my apartment is laid out. My kitchen area, I have I can view my TV at the same time. So I usually put on some kind of like TV show or something playing while I cook. So that helps a little bit in terms of like keeping me engaged in some way. I'm too picky of an eater to have someone else cook for me. Ah, that's fair. That's fair. I grew up being like a really, really picky eater, and my mom just like adapted to it. But I've gotten a lot better about it over the years in terms of like being picky. I still have like a few things that I'm like a no-go. I'm like an anti-cilantro person, which people make fun of me for, but it's just not for me. Which is like kind of funny because I love and eat a lot of Asian food, and there is cilantro in a lot of it. But I just no cilantro for me. No, thank you. You may want to look into it, especially if you're struggling with some aspects of your life. Neurodivergent girls plus women tend to get overlooked because of medical and social bias. Thank you so much. Yeah, it is something that I have considered looking into. But someone told me they were saying that like because I do get the task done eventually, that I might not actually be ADHD. But who knows, right? Like maybe my life would be easier if I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just like saying random things now. But yeah, it would be, yeah, maybe it's something I should look into potentially. That was the case for me. I am both autistic and have ADHD. Absolutely. I'm 26 and just got diagnosed last year. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Definitely food for thought. Guys, this is so cool. I love that my we as a community on my live streams can like literally talk about anything. That's pretty amazing. It's such a safe space. When I was trying to fall asleep last night, I was thinking about like I really do think I should start a Discord, but I just don't. I'm not like super familiar with like how all the ins and outs of Discord. Like I've used it before, but I'm like very intimidated by setting it all up and like having like moderating it and all that stuff, but I will say I am thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Cilantro is nasty, and I can't stand when my feet touches each other. Cilantro haters unite. Apparently, it's like the cilantro thing. Apparently, for some people, it's like genuinely genetic. Like there's something about cilantro that just like doesn't bode with some people's taste buds. I'm not the person that like claims that it tastes like soap. That's apparently the genetic. I just don't like it. But yeah. Okay. What else, friends? I think we're kind of done, right? She looks pretty good. Oh yeah. Actually, okay. Let's zoom in and do the pearls. Let's do the rest of these pearls. We're zooming in on the goods. Oh, I like the idea of a Discord where we can all talk and share what we were working on. Cilantro is chef's kiss. I'm like that with pickled ginger, but I love ginger tea. Yeah, that's like I mean, kind of different, but same. I really like, I love cucumbers. Like give me cucumbers all day, every day, but I don't like pickles. But I like other pickled things. Like I like pickled carrots, pickled like daikon and stuff, but pickled like just regular pickles, I'm not a fan of. Many folks with ADHD don't get diagnosed because they mask it too well, but that doesn't mean it's not there and that their quality of life can still be improved with meds, therapy, accommodations. Yeah, see, I am wondering about that. I'm wondering if I'm like, I found many coping mechanisms to like deal with it. Potentially. Because yeah, I do find staying on task challenging if I am not being like stimulated by like a million other things. Hence why these live streams, honestly. Live streams, playing things in the background. Yeah, so it's highly possible. Also, I have mixed feelings about cilantro. Yeah, cilantro is my enemy, for sure. Cilantro is the enemy for me. But a lot of people really love it. I think it's yeah, people, it's a divisive one, I think. I was an honor student in college and was struggling so much, but no one noticed it because of my masking / coping skills. Same, it doesn't taste like soap to me either. It's just a flavor that isn't good. It can be nice on tacos, I guess. Yeah, that's where I'm at with cilantro too. It's like, it doesn't taste like soap. It's just like, when it's in something, it's the only thing I can taste. It like overtakes the entire dish or whatever. I love that the chat right now is like half about ADHD and the other half is about cilantro. Both equally important conversations. But yes, yeah, my vision for a Discord is that because much like my live streams, there's always like so many different conversations happening, and I always feel a little sad when you know, I like end the live stream and like other people in the chat are still engaged with different conversations, but it has to end because I am choosing to like leave the live stream or whatever, or end the live stream. And so the idea of a Discord would be really great so that people can just like connect at any given time. And I would, my vision for it would be, I would have like obviously different servers or different channels, I forget what it's called, for like various different topics. So for people who, yeah, want to talk about like mental health, or if they want to talk about, yeah, like their artwork that they're working on and like get feedback, or if they want to just talk about fandom, whether it be like anime or K-pop, you know, like I feel like my community has like such a wide breadth of interest because that's the way that I operate. So yeah, I just need to like buckle down and figure it out. But for now, I think the live streams kind of help give that vibe a little bit. A small server perhaps. Even chat can't stay on one topic. And I thrive on it. I thrive on these like multiple conversations. How many hours did this painting take so far? Oh, that is you know what? I'm actually not sure. I'm very bad at keeping track of how long things take me. But I will say, I think I've been working on this for like 3 days, but not like the entire day, right? So it's very hard to say. And that like doesn't include like all of the pre-planning, like all the like I don't know if research is quite the right word, but like looking for references, figuring out the concept, the color palette, all that stuff. So very hard to say, but this is my third painting session with it, I think. Third or fourth painting session with it. But you know what? I think she's basically done, right? Pretty much. There might be like a couple of like little things that I'll do, but she's basically done, I think. Oh wait, the background. Hold on. Cause I feel like you guys will probably, I've never done like the peel with you guys on live stream, I don't think. Okay, so let's finish it off. Let's just do it. Actually, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm like all over the place. Let's do the shinies. So in this version, I did these like really fun sparkles kind of like throughout. So I think I want to do that as well. Shinies. Peel. Yeah, it'll be really satisfying. It may also help if you have some volunteer moderators. Yes, yeah, someone told me about that as well. I'm like, I feel so bad about asking for moderators because like that's so much time and effort out of someone's day. A Discord would be so fun. Maybe people could volunteer to be mods so it's not overwhelming. Haha, funny timing. I was about to say, do you have anyone in mind for moderators? It looks amazing. Thanks so much. Yeah, I guess, yeah, like if it's volunteer, then that's, you know, I'm not like burdening anyone if they're volunteering, but I still feel like I'm burdening people by, in any case, that's a conversation for in the future because I'm not quite there yet. But I am glad to be having this conversation about it because it's like making me more inclined to like give it some serious thought. Okay. Now, gouache background. Wait, no, I said shinies first. Yes. Okay. Deciding on color palette feels like a battle in itself, right? Have you considered adding highlights to the hair on the left side in the shell? It looks so flat. This is true. It is flat over here. I guess My whole thing was I wanted kind of the light coming over here, but it's true. It could use a little bit. Let's do that. Maybe just not the yellow, but maybe like some of the blue and the pink. That is true. That is true. We could do a little. Just a little, just a hint. Okay. Oh, actually, yeah, in this part too. And whenever I see sparkles now, I immediately think of Pipa. Yes, Pipa is the queen of sparkles. Maybe unsolicited advice, but about the Discord server thing, mods help a lot. If you know anyone who is Discord savvy and knows about all the settings or has info about them, is immensely helpful. Yes, I do actually have another artist friend who has a Discord server for her Patreon channel, Patreon. And I am considering that, like, just to maybe just like to help it not feel super overwhelming, I'm considering maybe my Discord would be for patrons, but like for like every tier, so it would be, you know, not super pricey. But again, yes, I'm thinking about it. It's on the back burner. It's not a priority just because I have like so many things going on, but yes, I'm glad to hear advice from you guys in terms of like moderator. I think it does sound like that's probably the wisest choice. How did you do the tiny outlines around the pearls? Was that with a brush? Amazing. It was with a brush. A 3/0 brush. Super tiny. 3/0. Very tedious. My dog really wants to stand and stare at things outside right now, but it's nearly 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm sure that's very hot. In Canada, we use Celsius, but I'm sure that's very hot. How long ago did you start making art? I mean, the like the not so helpful answer is that I've been, you know, drawing since I was a kid, but I have been like actively drawing and posting on the internet since I was like 13 or 12 or so, and I am like 31 now. So it's been a hot minute. Oh, definitely. I wasn't trying to pressure you or anything either, so I hope it didn't come across that way. Oh, no, not at all. Definitely, like, good advice. I appreciate it. Hey, just got in. Love the transparency on the tail. Thanks so much. Nice to catch a live stream. Unfortunately, time to leave. Have a wonderful day. Aw, thanks so much. I hope you also have a wonderful day. Okay. Where are we at? I keep getting water on this. Okay. Okay, I do want a couple more spacklies of pink, perhaps. Okay. I mentioned doing a peel with you guys, so now I'm like committed to like fully finishing this, and then we'll do the peel together. Yes, okay. Paint marker for more highlights on these pearls. I'm titling her Mother of Pearl, which I think is a cute title, if I do say so myself. And let's, that is a cute title. Oh my God. How are your legs doing? Oh, good question. Let me bend them. For those of you who have no context, I have a standing desk and I pretty much always stand when I do live streams. And for most of my painting processes. But yes, I recently got like a standing fatigue mat, which I think helps, but also, yeah, it's good to like bend my knees. Does she have a name? I don't have a name for her. Do we want to name her? I would love to know, guys. I find it hard to draw digitally even though I'm a professional artist on paper. What's your advice on this? I don't have one. I've heard good things about it, but getting a screen, a paper, what's it? A paper-like screen for your digital device. I mean, that would be specifically for like the iPad. I'm not really sure what the cover situation looks like for like Wacom or like drawing tablets, like typical drawing tablets. But yeah, I've been considering getting a paper-like screen thing for my iPad because I do also find that like it's so slippery and I find that I like press too hard and it like makes my hand cramp up. So for digital artists who are also traditional artists in the chat, if you have any other advice, I'm sure that we would all love to know. Okay, what's next? The sparkles. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. So I think what I want to do is perhaps a colored one. I'll do like a color first and then do the white Posca marker on top. I think that'll create like a really fun effect. And it'll also help me like map it out first, I think. Make sure you don't drink your paint water. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I actually need to get more water technically. Yeah, thankfully my paint water jug is so different from what I actually drink out of. So there's like almost no way of me doing it by accident. It's very heavy also, which is probably good. Okay, we're gonna go in with this really hot pink first. And what I want to do is use the hot pink to like map out where I want it to be first. And then I think I'll go in with like the yellow and then the pink and the white. Some areas it might not make sense, but let's see. Since you said Mother of Pearls was the title of this, I think you should name her Pearl. Oh yeah, that's so true. That would be perfect. I'm more of a traditional art lover and the iPad paper screen protector is nice. I'll get the screen protector. Ah, yes. Okay, that's good. That's good. I would also recommend if you're using Procreate to learn about all the shortcuts and features they have for accessibility like stabilization and motion filtering. Are you painting with gouache or watercolors? I'm painting with gouache today. But yes, I'm very slow on learning the ins and outs of like shortcuts and stuff, but that probably would help a lot for those of us who are not as digitally inclined. What kind of drawing tablet would you suggest a beginner to get? Not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored. She's mother of Pearl. Maybe her name is Pearline. Oh, that's cute. One day I'll get back to using Clip Studio Paint. One day. Oh my god, yeah, I have Clip Studio Paint as well, and I have barely used it. But in terms of what I would recommend to a beginner, honestly, I'm very apprehensive to answer this question just because I'm not primarily a digital artist. Like, I really don't know. I'm not really sure what to recommend. Like, I personally enjoy using the iPad, but like I like Procreate on the iPad, but iPads are very expensive. Whereas drawing tablets have like a much wider price range. So I think drawing tablet might be the better option to start with. Yeah. Because, yeah, there's like a wider range of options, like price-wise. The big thing you have to remember is that available programs are going to be different depending on what OS you use. I gotta go. Have a wonderful day or night, Tina and everyone. Thanks for joining. XP Pen has more affordable options and often have sales too. Perla, Spanish for pearl. Ooh, cute. I love that. Heard good things about Huon tablets. Yes, I've heard good things about them too, actually. Ooh, these sparkles are so fun. I gotta make sure I don't overdo it though. I have a small Cintiq because I was hesitant to go with Huon with larger screen at the time. So I know I'm an information hoarder, like a dragon, but my treasure is knowledge. So if it gets to be too much, just let me know. Oh no, I appreciate it. It's very helpful for me and for the chat. I really appreciate it. Jinchu is the Korean word for pearl if you wanted that K-pop feel. Oh, cute. I'm getting a language lesson up in here, guys. I love it. Jinchu or Perla. Now, Huon has better quality stuff, sometimes on par with Wacom for much less. It's easy to get carried away with the sparkles for real. Yeah, I have heard good things about Huon. It seems like, because for a really long time, Wacom was kind of seen as like the main and only like really, really good option. But it does sound like Huon, I've heard like, yeah, I have heard good things about Huon, so it might be worth looking into that. Okay, what did I do for, oh yes, okay, I see. All right. So now we're gonna fill in the rest of the background again, just because I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's still like very patchy. And then that way I can go in with the rest of like these like bubbles and pearls on top, bubbles and sparkles. And then we can do a very satisfying paint peel. So let's get out more of this paint. And we'll do that. What time is it? It is 3 o'clock. Okay, not bad, not bad. I want to make sure I get this posted on Instagram today. Ideally, would have been earlier, but you know, time management. Is there such a thing as too many sparkles, though? My two inner thoughts. Q1 was my first choice, but I got my first tablet and family be like, you know, give me the exact name and I got a link for what you want, but I got you this instead. Aww. For those of you who don't know, this is going to be the print for my Patreon page where I do a print and sticker that I mail out every month. I'm so late to this, but today is the final day to sign up if you're interested in mermaid theme rewards. I can't believe I didn't do this at all during the stream, but I have the stickers for you to see. They're pretty cute, not gonna lie. So this is the sticker for the Patreon reward. So both of them are very much pearl themed. The color palettes are totally different. Normally I try to make them actually match, but I didn't end up doing that this month, as you can see. But the glitter effect on this is so fun. It's so extra. I've never done glitter on the edges before, but I decided to do it this round because why not? So yeah, all the pearls on her and even her eyeliner and then like little seashells in her hair are all glittery. So that's kind of the fun thing with the stickers is I can do these like special effects that I don't get to do on the print. But yeah, so for my Patreon page, if you just want the print, it's $10 USD. And then the sticker and print reward is $14 USD. And that includes shipping literally anywhere in the world, so long as they accept mail from Canada, basically. And yeah, and then you also get access to like all of my Patreon stuff. I have a podcast. If you know you want more background noise, I have exclusive videos on there. I have like, I guess it's been 2 years, right, that I've been on Patreon. So there's like over 20 videos on there. Lots of like sketchbook stuff, wallpapers, you know. Screams, that sticker is amazing. Thank you so much. Pretty. Definitely something to look out for because it's an option. I have a Wacom for my PC, but my laptop is a 2-in-1, so you can flip the screen to use any tablet, but with the desktop version. Oh, wow. That's very cool. And you are in animation, so you've got the experience to back it up. 17-inch screen HP Envy X360. Comes with a pen. Wow. That's amazing. It's very mesmerizing, is it not? I'm like, ugh. I'm such a sucker for the special effects. I mentioned this on my on Patreon, but because, you know, I like doing themes, some kind of theme for the Patreon rewards. So I have a plan next month, which is literally tomorrow. Next month's theme is going to be Devil, and then July will be Angel. And I'm going to make them so that they look like a set. I think it'll be very cute. They will definitely have like a pinup-y vibe as well. Because if you saw the rewards that I did previously, I had done Luna and Sol, like moon and sun, which was a really fun thing. I like doing sets. I think it's just so fun. I don't use it to animate, but yeah, probably good for it. Oh, okay, fair. Another beautiful sticker to add to my collection / hoard. Yay, I'm glad. I also hoard stickers. Like, I love stickers, but I feel like I don't use them as often as I acquire them. But for context, do I have... Oh yeah, I do. Hold on. But yes, what I mean by the rewards, so this was March and April, so even the backs are matchy. So fun. But yeah, so I made them match, so like when you have them next to each other, they're sort of like facing one another, and they, you know, they are framed the same way and whatnot. So I really enjoy doing this like pairing idea. So I will be doing something similar for June and July. So it'll be Devil and Angel, and it won't be exactly like this, obviously, but it will have some kind of like pairing dynamic. Also, apologies that this part is not very exciting, this like block in of the background, but the peel will be worth it. You linked 3 different types of acrylic gouache in the description, but which would you recommend? I have never tried the medium, but have the hemi gouache. Yes, I linked all 3 because I technically do use all 3, but I will say the Holbein gouache is my favorite if I had to pick one. But yeah, acrylic gouache and the hemi gouache are a little different, but I will say acrylic gouache is my preferred choice. The hemi gouache I find is like good for like sketchbook stuff or like things that are a bit more casual. I find that acrylic gouache I really like for like more finished illustrations. Where is... But yeah, I use all 3 brands. That's why I linked all 3 of them. But yeah, if I had to pick, Holbein is my favorite. Okay, like, I don't think I'm supposed to talk about this because I have no idea if it's going to happen, but how would you guys feel if I made paintbrushes or collabed with a brand that made paintbrushes? Would you be interested in that? I've never done a collaboration like that before, but I got approached recently to do something like that, and I was like, that sounds pretty cool. Because I get a lot of questions about brushes and like what to get. So I do think it'd be quite nice to have a whole set ready to recommend. Because I really actually don't use that many brushes during one illustration. I probably use like 4 or 5 at a time, at most. Oh, I'm seeing interest. Hello, hello. I put both Turner and Holbein acrylic wash sets on my Amazon wish list. Yay! Oh, agree. Holbein is my fave too, but Turner's is more affordable for me in the UK. Yes, yeah. Turner's, I think, is usually more affordable in general. Like, I think if I remember correctly, it was probably the more affordable version, gouache, even in Japan, because they're both Japanese brands, I'm pretty sure. And like, yeah, again, very close in terms of like performance and color options, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, Holbein is my numero uno. Thanks so much. I might invest. I heard people paint clay earrings with them as well, and I'm curious since I've only used acrylic for clay pieces. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Acrylic wash will be magical on clay because it's permanent like acrylic paints, but it's like super smooth and flat and matte, which I think you'll really, really appreciate when you use them on clay. Because the thing with acrylic paints, like regular acrylic paints, is that on their own, like out of the tube, they're usually kind of thick and slightly satin, which might be fine if like that's what you want. But like gouache is like super, super smooth. It's meant to be flat, like smooth, like no brush strokes and stuff. And I find like the matte finish so satisfying to look at. So yes, I am pro acrylic gouache for that purpose as well. Hi, just got here. I love the colors. It looks beautiful. Thanks so much. We are wrapping up actually, but you're here for one of the really exciting parts. I'm just like basically finishing up this background because it was a little patchy. So we're just doing a second layer of just like solid dark purple here. It almost looks black basically. I do need to put a signature on too. I always forget to sign my stuff these days. But, you know, I will do that this time. So we're gonna let it dry and see how it looks. I might need to go in, yeah, I think I need to go in with a smaller paintbrush, just like right in the edges. But she's looking pretty cool. I'm pretty pleased with her, actually. RIP our wallets. Save up, guys, save up. It's gonna be like 4 to 5 months from now. So if it happens, Yay, sweet. Yeah, I hate how acrylic makes it sticky and takes a lot of layers. I figured gouache would make it more matte and glazing. Add some shine. Yes, yes, yes. I love your clay earrings video and would love to see you do another if you find the time. It's such a fun medium. Oh, yes. For those of you who don't know, I made a video quite a while back making clay earrings, like polymer clay earrings. And I bought like so much stuff for it. Like invested in like a lot of earring backings, a bunch of clay tools, thinking that it was going to be like a regular thing that I was going to get into. And I've like pretty much have not touched them since, which is such a shame because it's such a cool medium. And I obviously, you know, invested in all this stuff. So I would love to do it again. I'm just not sure when I would do it. But yes, I'm very glad that you liked the video. There are many things that I want to do, but I don't have enough time. I mean, I probably do have time. I just spend a lot of time doing dumb things. Or not dumb things, but things that are not necessarily super productive. Like watching immense amount of K-pop content. I am trying to learn choreo, though. I am trying to learn some K-pop dances. So that, I think, is a worthy time It's bent. The background is very dark purple, not quite black. Yes, that is correct. Oh my god, I just moved and there was all this Fimo I've had since early teen years, and I'm like, yes, I'm keeping them. One day I'll pick it back up. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. And it's probably like perfectly in good shape, because that stuff, it only hardens when it bakes. So that's amazing. I do hand modeled Studio Ghibli earrings mainly, and they take forever without clay cutters. Oh yeah, clay cutters are like, that's the way to go for sure. I admire people who like hand mold things. Okay. Okay. Are we done? Finally? I think so. I'm just kind of giving her a little once over. It's good to like step back from it. Hold on, I'm just gonna hold it away from me. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Hooray. All right, so I'm gonna sign it. What do I want to sign it with? Pink? Let's see. I'm surprised we haven't gotten any bots in the chat today. That's so true. I think probably because there hasn't been as many people. I think on in previous times when I've gone the bots, it's like there's usually like closer to like 100 people in the chat, whereas today the average has been like kind of teetering around like 30 through 50. So I think yeah, that's probably why. But either way, I'm glad to not have bots, like the Tinder bots. I found and bought Sculpey clay at a thrift store, and then a bunch of packs at DAS clay from Blick Art Materials clearance bucket. Ooh, that's awesome. Clearance finds. Is there a wear medium to hand make a mold, do you think? There probably is. Maybe with like aluminum, like a thick aluminum or something. I'm not sure. Or like a 3D printer. I guess that's not by hand, but anyway. There might be a way. I'm not sure what the method would be. Okay, signature is gonna go here. Are we ready? Can we see? Are we seeing it? Yes, okay. Let's zoom in. We'll zoom in on my signature. Ready? Okay. What year is it? 2023. Okay. Okay. Do you draw with Posca markers? I do. You can try a 2-part silicone mix. Oh yeah, resin and stuff. That is so true. Yes, you are correct. Thank you for the advice. I love this. I love the community. Love the community. Okay, so this is my palette. Isn't that so fun to look at? I mean, this is over like several paintings, but this is the piece. For those of you who came in late or didn't see, this was like the digital version that I did first. Oh, the bubbles. Oh my gosh, I'm glad I looked at this. Okay, I'm so sorry. I keep talking about peeling the tape, but I keep forgetting. So we're gonna quickly do these first, these little sparkles and bubbles, and then we will peel, and then we'll be done. Yes, okay. Because that is honestly a cute part of this piece, and just helps like create some interest around the piece here. I did like a really small like ballpoint pen doodle before I did the final kind of round on my iPad. And originally I had like thought I was gonna have like seaweed and stuff around her, and like a more like traditional looking illustration, I guess, in terms of like more scenic, but I kind of like this more motif vibe. I think it's very reminiscent of like pinup, like American pinup illustrations in terms of like the composition, I guess. I love the digital version so much too. Oh my God. Thank you. Yeah, it was honestly, I was like, when I did that, I was like, do I just leave it like this and not do a gouache version? But I'm glad I did the gouache version too, because it was I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and it was definitely like quite the challenge with all the colors and gradients and stuff. I do think that the digital version, I like the tail more, admittedly, like this part of the tail, like the actual like fin part. But I do like the colors a lot. With the gouache version, it's like really vibrant. I love pinup and pulp illustrations. Oh my God. Yeah, me too. Honestly, like a pinup, like American pinup illustrations are like a huge, huge inspo for me. I have the Great American Pinup like art book, like the coffee art book, coffee table art book. Yeah, I love it. Big inspo for sure. I think I like overdid it in the digital version, so I'm trying not to overdo it in this one. Okay, we'll do some blue ones now. Vintage fantasy and sci-fi illustration. I like the painting much better. Don't be mad. Oh no, I'm not mad. Would you consider selling it as a phone wallpaper? Oh, yeah. You know what? I offer wallpapers on my Patreon page. I've never actually considered about like just selling digital wallpapers like on a like Gumroad or something, but that could be something to consider for people who don't want to sign up for Patreon. But I will say you get a lot of benefits on the Patreon reward tier. The tier that gets wallpapers, I think it's just the $5 one. So you get the wallpapers, the podcast, the videos, the exclusive videos, like sketchbook pages. The $5 tier is you get a lot of stuff, not gonna lie. But yes, I will think about that. I do have, what do I have on Gumroad? I think I have one thing on Gumroad, which is a coloring book actually. So if you didn't know, on Gumroad, during like the height of the pandemic, I released a digital version of this coloring book that I did ages ago. It was like a bunch of illustrations inspired by the Grimm's Brothers fairy tales. The line art is really old. The illustrations are really old. So I've been actually like been wanting to revisit them and like redo them as like full-blown illustrations for a really long time. I just haven't had time to do it. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but anyway. Oh no! I got a battery low. Hold on. Battery low notification. Okay, we're plugging in. Okay. You have a coloring book? I know it's very old. I don't really talk about it that much. I don't know how is it. Either I think I have a link to it on my Instagram profile, or it's possible if you were to go to just like Gumroad and search for I'm a Wonder, I might pop up, possibly. But yeah, it's available. It's like $3, I think, the coloring book. So, but again, the caveat is the illustrations are pretty old, so I don't know if I'm like necessarily super proud of them, but anymore. But they're there. if you want them. Oh my god, ordering that right now. Yay, I'm glad. I hope that you enjoy. Okay. Do I want bubbles up here, or do I just want them around her here? It's hard to make them, like, not feel arbitrary. It's hard to make them feel random. Okay, we'll do a couple more pink bubbles, and then we'll do some sparkles. The painstaking choices. But really, like, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Yeah, totally out of the blue. Did not plan for this live stream, but I'm glad to have gone to hang out with you guys today and also get this illustration done. Better late than never, as they say. Actually, I think I'll do this with the yellow. And yeah, if all goes well, I plan to do another live stream this week on probably Friday, maybe Saturday. I'll definitely make a post about it, whichever day I pick. And we'll do my usual monthly favorites, because we are already done the month of May, which is so crazy. And what will be included in my monthly favorites this round? Definitely the Jackson Wang concert, for sure. He was amazing. Oh my gosh. Not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. And my New York trip. Probably some Demon Slayer. Been enjoying that a lot. Yes, a live stream. Yes. I feel, I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I bought a webcam a while ago now, so that I could include a face cam during my live streams, because, you know, I'm pretty chatty, and I can imagine that it would be a little bit more engaging if you can actually see my face. But I've been stalling on figuring out all the OBS stuff and how to set all that up, because right now I just stream everything off my phone. So again, technology, it daunts me. I'll get there though, eventually. Who is your favorite Demon Slayer character? Which Hashira do you like the most so far? Oh my gosh. Demon Slayer has been so good, right? Okay, Hashira. It's so funny. Like, I feel like with each season, you're like, wait, this Hashira is my favorite. Rengoku has, I don't know, he's the one that's sort of standing out for me, just because I feel I was, like, very invested in his whole arc, like, really invested, and it just, like, breaks my heart thinking about him. But I do really like them all. Like, I really liked Tomioka, like you. I really liked, what's his name? The one with the wives, the multiple wives. I liked him too. So, anyway, it's hard to pick. And that goes for, like, favorite character in general. Like, I feel like originally I was like, oh yeah, Inosuke is definitely my favorite. You know, feral energy is just so funny. But I don't know, maybe Nezuko? I'm like, I love Nezuko. No wrong choices, honestly, though. Do you like Zenitsu? I do like Zenitsu. He's definitely not my favorite, I will admit. But I do see the charm. What kind of breathing style would you perform if you're a demon slayer? Ooh, I am a little partial to like water and ice. I just think it's so visually, it's so beautiful and so versatile. Come on, he's so lovely. I think that he's just like always at 100, which is kind of a lot. I mean, I guess so is Inosuke. No, Inosuke, I don't know. But I like him, I swear. I'm glad you had a stream today because I won't be able to make it on the weekend stream because I have to work. Aw, well, I'm glad that I was able to, yeah, keep you company on Wednesday today. That's true, but come on. My whole family watched season 1. We jokingly say Zenitsu is my dad's favorite character because he goes, oh man, he's crying again. That is so cute that you guys watch it as a family together. That is so sweet. I love that. Okay, before I peel, let me just do a little show and tell in case anyone hasn't seen my Demon Slayer fan art before. Just, you know, because we're here, okay? So, I want to do more of these, but... And when I do open my shop again, they will be available. Oh my gosh. So here's Tanjiro, sweet baby boy, sweetest little thing. He's watched Avatar: The Last Airbender with us, so we convinced him to watch Demon Slayer. My mom will sit with us more often. Oh my god, cute! I love that so much. I love breathing. I think the love breathing. I read that wrong. I love breathing. I mean, I think we all do too. The love breathing. There we go. I think that's what it's called with the girl with the pink and green hair. Yes, super cute. I love her. She's so adorable. My little doggo keeps barking at the chipmunks. Help. Tanjiro. Borking. Okay, for the Zenitsu lover, here's Zenitsu, sweet, pouty boy. Not fully crying, almost there. You know, got the little teardrops and a little rain cloud because he's a little bit of a crybaby. I gave my siblings postcards of your characters they chose from the 4. Oh my god, cute! Oh my god, imagine. I love breathing. Oh, dying. Zenitsu. Okay, and then we have Nezuko, sweetest little gal. I am extremely endeared to her in the season because of and also Tenjiro for braiding her hair to look like the watermelon haired girl. I forget her name. So freaking cute. There is just something about male characters, males braiding hair. I just think it's so cute. Anyway. And lastly, Inosuke, my feral boy. I had so much fun with the mouth. I don't usually like do mouths quite like this. It's like very expressive. So I had a lot of fun with this expression and drawing him. Nezuko is so cute, but when she's angry, everything is over, right? But yeah, anyway, so much fun working on these. Convention season for me is around the corner again. I want to do some more, probably of the Hashira. But I'm also torn because I've done a bunch of Jujutsu Kaisen characters in this style as well. I will have these in my shop again. I just don't know when my shop's gonna be open, but I will have them at conventions. I only have 2 conventions this year. I'm doing Montreal Comic Con and Fan Expo in Toronto. So I'll have them there. So for any of my Jujutsu Kaisen fans, we have Sweet Yuji Itadori. This is actually a YouTube video on my channel. So I do like a whole video about how I stylize portraits, and these were all using markers and colored pencils and fine liners. Would you ever consider an Artist Alley vlog? Oh, I should try doing that. Can you do Rengoku? Yeah, I definitely want to. I want to do the Hashira for sure. Then we got Fushiguro, which is obviously basically the same color palette as today, more or less. Oh, Montreal Comic Con, notes down. Yes, I am confirmed. I have a table. I felt so bad. I thought I had a table at the Toronto Comic Con this year, and I told people, and then they like rejected my application and took my money. Anyway, I do have a Gojo. We're getting there. Okay, so here is Nobara. Here is Gojo, my manses, but my real manses is, hold on. Nanami, where is he? Nanami, oh my god, I love him so much. Oh my god, he was actually the most popular last year when I was at the conventions of like, I think all of my prints, like all of these like, what's it called, these portraits. What art supplies do you use? These ones are alcohol markers, colored pencils, and fine liners. If you want to know the whole process, I have a video with him. He's in the thumbnail, and it's like the full process of like working on these types of portraits. And lastly, we got Maki, girl boss tings. So yeah, I guess maybe because I already have 6 of the Jujutsu Kaisen, maybe I'll do the Hashira. Do you use Ohuhu? I do, yes. I love Ohuhu. We stan Ohuhu on this channel. Anyway, that was a fun little show and tell. Thank you for indulging me. Okay, now for what we've all been waiting for. I'm going to close this palette now. Stickers by, oh shoot, I forget her Instagram handle, but aren't they so cute, these little Sailor Moon grumpy stickers? I put them on top of this palette. Anyways, okay. All right, friends. The moment we've all been waiting for. Let's peel this baby. Do you think you'll make Chainsaw Man fan art, or were you not really into that show? Oh my god, you're right! I literally was thinking about, at one point, I was like, oh, I should do Chainsaw Man portraits in the style that I've done the other ones. Yes, you are correct. I do want to do Chainsaw Man. Oh my gosh, so many ideas in so little time. Yes, you are correct. Peel. Yes, okay. What demon do you love the most? Demon from Demon Slayer? Is it Re? Yes, you're right. Re, I mean, they used to go by like Re artwork. I think they might have changed it. Let me double check. Re, oh yeah. Re artworks. My, those stickers, those Sailor Moon stickers. Okay. Okie dokie. Chanting, peel, peel, peel. Yes, from Demon Slayer. I have a hard time picking a favorite. I guess I'll say Inosuke for now. Okay, let's peel. Ooh, yes. I love Musa. Oh, you mean like the villains? Wait, right? Who's my favorite villain? I like the new one that they've introduced in Demon Slayer. The sassy one. Okay. Okay. Ta-da! Wow. Nice. Sassy. Hold on. Let me look him up. Exit. Let me look up Demon Slayer. I never remember their names. Demon Slayer upper ranks, right? Upper... What? Upper... Kizuki. Sassy Demon. I'm so glad I caught this live. Yay, I'm glad to have you here. Upper rank 2, Doma. We haven't seen a lot of him yet in the anime yet. I haven't read the manga, but he has this like kind of clowny aesthetic, and he's very sassy. I don't know how else to describe him. I think he's sassy. Doma, upper rank 2, yes. Can you do a tutorial from your body drawing? I don't have a tutorial necessarily, but I do have a couple of figure drawing videos on my channel. So that's going to be like the closest thing in terms of like drawing bodies. But I think they're like pretty informative. I just wouldn't necessarily label them as tutorials, but I provide like tips and advice and resources on like where to find good references for figure drawing. So I think I have like 2 or 3 videos on figure drawing on my channel. Yay! All right. Ooh, it looks so much better when the tape is peeled off. All right. Here she is. Ta-da! Thanks so much for hanging out, friends. I know that this live stream was a little bit anticlimactic, I guess, in terms of the actual painting process. There's a lot of like fiddling around, but that basketball that killed our Rengoku, I hate him. Akaza, I hate him. Anyway, but it is exciting to like finish a piece on live stream for once, and yeah, to be able to do the super satisfying peel. So yeah, this is the print for this month's Patreon. It is the last day to sign up if you want to get these rewards. Obviously, the Patreon print will be a little smaller. It'll be 4x6, but you will receive this sticker, which is super fun, very glittery and shiny. And yeah, that's pretty much it from me. I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. Like I said, I probably will do another live stream this week, either probably Friday, maybe Saturday. I'll definitely post about it on my community tab and on Instagram when I decide exactly the time and day. But yeah, we'll be getting back into my monthly favorites, and it'll be a good time. So yeah, I appreciate the hangout today. Thanks so much for all the kind words and good vibes, and I hope you all have an amazing day or evening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.